man then also. Is it called teach or teacher? Let's listen to these liars, what they've got today.
That's not going to cut anything, is it?
Taking a little bit. Taking a little bit.
He shapes it round there as well.
It's been changed forever by what happened. It was a river of blood coming out of the mosque. We are standing on the supply line right into the heart of America's opioid crisis.
You know, somebody, if they find you in between those Kurdish guys, they might think that you're Kurdish or Greek or something. Honestly,
Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over.
blend in easy. Yeah,
It is almost
especially your beard here
Ida has certainly left
makes you pass the test, the beard test.
There's no sign publicly, at least of either side, being willing to give ground. I do reassure the public that all of this is very good.
You see some guy trying to set a man's light to Birmingham. Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Yeah. I don't know whether it's the same guy. But one like that happened in London not long ago, about a month ago. And then this one happened in Birmingham.
Do it properly.
So are you going to your mom's now?
Yeah.
So you see your brother,
Yeah.
Chris? I've got an issue with my pipes here upstairs. Came to have a look and
On the toilet.
when you come back. No. This is the water room or the kitchen room. I think the pipe is blocked. It's not actually shit. It's not actually, you know, you let it grow. So if I was you, I would just leave it like this. The more you mess with it, the mess you get. But just leave it like that.
Council leader who ordered the tree cut down has announced plans to step down. Well, Sky's Ivor Bentley joins me now. Hi there to you, Ivor. How on earth did trees in Plymouth end up in the High Court?
Yeah, good question. I have to say, first of all, there's no outcome yet in what's been dubbed the Plymouth Chainsaw Massacre. That's after, as you say, the council chopped down 110 trees in the city centre last Tuesday night, all in the name of regeneration. Now, they want to chop down at least 16 more, but they're currently prevented from doing so after a court order was imposed on them, pausing the tree felling. That was after this campaign has successfully sought an injunction, and that's what this hearing here at the High Court is all about that injunction. The council, the city council, wants to see that injunction lifted so they can get rid of the debris from the trees they've already chopped down and carry on with their work. They say their plans include the planting of 169 new tree saplings. Lawyers who are representing the city council have argued that the trees they chopped down were unsuitable for an urban environment, calling them the wrong trees in the wrong place. Campaigners here, this is illegal, so there were 37 different tree species there that were chopped down. They wanted to see them incorporated into the regeneration plan, saying that the saplings that they're going to plant will take decades to mature. So they want to see the injunction here upheld pending the outcome of a judicial review. Now, this round has already claimed the political career of the current council leader, Richard Dealey. He said he's going to resign on Monday, but whatever the outcome of this hearing, there's no end to the last this year's round.
Thank you very much indeed.
You never seen any black person there?
Huh?
It's all Asian, isn't it?
Coming up for you at
Most of them are
State
Asian.
visit
Yeah.
to Wales is postponed.
Did you forget behind the counter? The door there behind the counter is open. I said the door behind the counter is open. It's open.
Oh, you actually works now?
Yeah, the door behind the counter is open.
I still got a couple
The
more.
guy that was supposed to come and help me to do this, honestly, his phone is off.
Do what?
To help me with this. The guy who broke the tiles, he was supposed to come and help me do this. He's an electrician. But he'll come and fix this wiring stuff. I'll just hide them under. And he'll come and do find a solution. Hide them under and put a marking on the tile so he knows. Even that one there. Just bought this gum. I need to clean that car. There's mold on the car right now. I've been thinking, well, I'll do it today. I'll send you some pictures.
Do what?
Look for that car, the car with the broken gearbox.
Yeah.
Mold on it. It's got mold on the seat because it's not been driven. It's just been sat there, so it's got.
Clean it when it gets worse. I'll get an Uber now, get a taxi to my mum's.
I don't know how. So what about the people that park their car like in a house there somewhere for time? Does it also get moldy, or is it just during the winter?
I don't know, I'll tell you. Just clean it and it won't go mouldy. Where's the wipes?
I need to get them from upstairs.
Oops, sorry.
Did you check on those Renault models? It's £700. The right asking price. I pay like £1,400 for it.
Alright. Get about 6 for it.
There's a fan news coming up today. Protests over the pension age in France caused the king to delay his first state visit there as monarch.
What would have really not been feasible for neither British nor France would have been to have tried to carry on as if nothing was happening.
The school's regulator says inspections must continue, despite calls for a pause after a teacher took her own life.
I watched a documentary yesterday. If you watch that documentary, you will go ballistic.
What is it about?
About the other Australia.
The order of Australia.
Yeah, the other Australia. That's it's like another country inside a country, right? Or it's like when someone says to you like the poor part of America or the other America, you know.
Or the Aborigines.
Yeah, the Aborigines, mate. Mate, that thing is revolting.
They're not treated as if like.
No, again, it's revolting. I mean, dogs are treated better than them, honestly.
Yeah. Said it wouldn't have been possible to carry on with it as if the protests weren't happening.
I called the King myself this morning to tell him what the situation here is, and based on comments from the trenches.
That perfume and all that aftershave, yeah. Yeah. I work for, well, I'm self-employed, like, and I do jobs for Chanel. Right. And I just empty all their drawers.
So we will
Really down
when Calm returns.
What you
Suggesting that come the beginning of summer, and with our diaries
Both
allow,
men's and women's,
we will
yeah.
announce
Got
details of a
3.5
new
grand for
stable
one swap.
which will allow us to
Got
properly
Chanel
run the
Blur
king
for
and
the
the
men's.
consort.
Yeah.
And to do
That
this in
Mademoiselle.
conditions that will allow us to show
Uh,
France in both Paris
Gabrielle
and
Chanel.
Hamburg.
And then I get all that Dior as well. Savage.
Savage as well, yeah.
All that.
You got
We'll
Elix.
talk now to our royal
Elix.
correspondent, Laura.
Savage.
Laura,
That's the
The one
this
after
is a big
Savage.
deal to
But it's still
the
called
latest
Savage.
trip. Some
I got that new
French don't like
women's
it.
one.
Yeah.
No, and they would have weighed it up very carefully
Gucci.
before Macron.
What, is it because they're dashing them away and then you just grab or you just...
No, so when I'm doing what I only go in to change the graphic. I take a crate with me.
No
and having
way.
the king
Yeah, fill it
face
up.
to face with the kinds of protests
Sick.
we've
How
seen
much you
in
selling them for?
recently,
Get away with it, though.
cancelling this event.
Can
And I
imagine.
suppose there
That's
was no
like-
alternative. And a real sense, I think, with this extra day of protests organised
same
on
with them.
Tuesday, the day the king's supposed to be going to Bordeaux, the protesters would use his visit as an opportunity to try and inflict maximum humiliation on the president. But this is bad news all round, really. This whole visit was organised as a way of improving and
But it's not one of
renewing
each.
the
I've just
Like
pictured
stacks,
it.
yeah.
So there's probably about 4 of them.
Different
It was a
milliliters.
moment
Yeah.
of celebrating the shared values
That's
between the
great,
two
lovely.
countries, a real moment of reconciliation as relations are thawing
So the
between
men's one, how much
Britain
you
and
selling
France.
for?
But it's
I
not
just
to
sell
be.
them
We've
all
had
as
this
bulk,
brief
I don't
statement
think,
today
Oh,
from
right,
Buckingham
okay.
Palace
But obviously,
confirming the
what's it?
decision.
That's
It simply reads, the King and the Queen Consort state visit to France has been postponed. Their Majesties greatly look forward to the opportunity to visit France
Extra
as
3
soon
there.
as dates can be found.
Obviously you keep
I
some
mean,
yourself
the
in
visit
it.
itself was going to be a
Couple
big
of
event.
Nice,
It was
you
a
know.
set piece at the
You'll see the
Arc
collection I've got in the fucking
Monday.
bedroom.
The King was going to be
Christmas
addressing
sorted
the
for you,
Senate
yeah.
from the chamber floor, the first time a British
I've
monarch
loads,
has
though.
done that.
No way.
It was a visit
I
to
do
the
all the
Queen
stores
Consort,
around
other
London.
engagements, and then
Oh,
a
right,
huge
okay.
All the
lavish
John
state
Lewis stores.
banquet at
Yeah, yeah.
Versailles. But the optics
Can you
of
imagine they
that
don't figure it out
particular
till like
Versailles
months
very
later?
early on
No,
started
don't
to
figure it
move
out, 'cause
wrong
what I
and
do
feel
is
wrong, and I think the
I don't make it
nervousness
look obvious.
rapidly
Yeah, yeah.
ratcheted
So I only
up
take about
to this
4
point
of
where we've
each.
seen
Yeah.
the whole thing
So if I was to
cancelled.
go
I say
in
the
and
whole
fucking
thing
empty the
because
drawer,
the
someone will
Germany
come in and
part
be
of the
fucking out
visit
and rock
will still
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. The King
Well, I
and
get
the
makeup
Consort
and all
due to
that lot
visit
as well.
Berlin
Yeah.
and then head on to
Fucking shit,
Hamburg.
Could end up
Timings
flipping up in
still
your
kind
own
of to be confirmed about that.
warehouses.
I'll just get rid of it straight away if I've got anything on it.
Is that involved to like a shop or something?
The dates of the
local
French
shop,
visit
Sell it to me, mate, round the
postponed
corner.
or cancelled. With the coronation coming up at the beginning of May, it
Because
seems
obviously they get it
unlikely.
cheap.
So as Macron was saying there in his statement earlier, it seems this could be well into the summer before this big state visit to France is rescheduled. Laura, thank you very much. Laura there, giving us the latest updates.
Yeah, fucking anyone, right? Anyone can walk into that. So my job, I have to start my job at 6 in the morning.
Right.
I have to have completed it by 9 o'clock before all the people, customers start in. I can walk in that John Lewis store and just take a TV. Without an hour's notice.
No one even blinked twice.
Which downgraded her school from
That's
outstanding.
wild, man. Because they got it in such bulk. Yeah.
What, the brush?
Yeah.
Just getting it now.
Got yourself a good little situation. Was it because it's electrical? Do you feel
No, I just do the graphics. There is sometimes of graphics I'm doing, advertise this movie, and then I'll go and change the graphic.
Yeah.
Perfume at the
No way they leave that with you.
So,
Crazy.
The dodgiest guy you will meet in your entire life.
I'm not.
Mate, I've not seen dodgier than you. Even the Kurdish guys are not that dodgy. These guys dodgy as fuck. You want me to tell you some of his records?
Go on then, you tell me.
He, 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, he took a full van of Amazon home for Christmas.
Hallelujah. So?
A full van loaded with
Nah,
people's
I'll tell
Christmas
I'll
presents
tell you this.
home
He's not going to heaven, him. He's going hell, him. He's definitely going hell.
So I work for Amazon, yeah? Fucking, they told me I'd earn 600 to
Yeah?
700 quid a week. Right. I worked for them for 6 weeks, and all I got was about 270
Yes,
quid.
pal, 500.
Yeah. They took 200
Looking for a shave cleaner.
Shave what?
Cleaner for someone.
The cleaner for the shaver.
So when I don't come,
What is it supposed to look like?
Clean it.
so
Is he a
the year
spray?
after,
Yeah, that's pretty.
did 2 day training again.
Okay.
315 parcels on the van.
This is what we use here. This is what I use here. We've got a similar one down there.
You sell them then?
Yes.
Scan the parcel.
Bob.
That's all it's doing. Whole room. So if I deliver the parcel to your house, and you rang up and said, I've not received the parcel, that's called a concession. So that's one concession.
It's
So if
$8.99.
someone else rings and says,
These?
complains, that's
We
2
got these.
concessions. Do you imagine how many parcels? So I have 350.
Different brand.
And you know these Hermes drivers?
This is best lubricate, clean, cool, anti-rust.
The worst courier company.
I lost all my parcel with them Hermes guys.
Do you know why they're the worst company?
Yeah.
Because Amazon, so if you get like 4 or 5 concessions,
You want the blue one?
Yeah.
they'll ring you up and say that it includes a Hermes.
But that will last you maybe for years, maybe like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, good money.
Yeah, that will last you for 2 or 3 years because you don't use it as often as we do.
Oh yeah. There's that to see you need to get the machine clean. I use some.
Yeah. Which machine have you got?
Yeah.
And the,
Which machine you got?
what do you call them?
Or the one there
Yeah,
around
yeah,
with it?
yeah.
People you work for, they're insured for each parcel. And they're not asked.
So couldn't they try and like
They are called like foil shaver. They call them foil shaving.
Is it gone? Oh.
Yeah.
Have you seen the documentary about Amazon? About all these parcels,
So are you
the destroyed.
shoulder or the belly? You shoulder
See the pallets
on the belly?
What do you mean? Ah, Sona? No,
Yeah.
no. Kenyan.
You're Kenyan. Oh, but your accent is a little bit like someone from Southern.
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether you live there.
No, to be fair,
That day was really
the languages sometimes.
Oh, that's right. Right,
Thank you. Let me allow you
Thank you so much, pal. I'll see you. Have a good weekend.
people lights and all that. Like, fucking these things for your teeth, to clean your teeth. Yeah. Watch it.
nah, deliveries these days are messed up.
Because of the people like him.
No, it's not. It's because of
The thing is alright, but when you have people like him doing that, mate, fucking hell.
If I'm not stealing your parcel, you're alright, aren't you?
Did you not see?
You just stole my fucking pasty, haven't you?
Not quite. Not quite.
He's got a point. Stealing is stealing all around.
I told him that thingy, your musician there, he was on TV there singing. The South African guy, he died. I said to him, this guy is famous. And he goes, he was, he's not anymore. That's what he said. How tight is that?
Cool. You know what? Nah, yeah, I said that, and I said as well, you told me he's dropped dead. Yeah? And then I said, I'm not surprised fucking singing this shit.
The dark humor I get.
He's one of
You don't like
the most popular artists in
yeah,
in South Africa.
it's just that, I know it's a bit sad it's complicated.
You not liking the music doesn't mean that the music is shit.
Humour.
Huh?
You got sense of humour.
No, I don't have one.
You've got to have a sense of humour supporting City, don't you think?
City when? Are they playing?
What, are you a red?
Yeah.
Of course. I've just gotten a ticket as well for the Champions League.
Really?
Yeah.
You alright, lovely?
We're brother's a City fan, man. It was his birthday this week. I'm trying to. He's
Alright.
never been to a City game, you know.
He's never been to a City game.
I told you this, dear.
For real.
I told you this.
I'll fuck these ticket up and I'll give it your love.
But I'm saying, if do you usually get him often, or
Me, yeah, I've got an account. I'll get
if I can grab your number, like, and then like I'll try to get him some.
Does he want a ticket for the Wembley final? You get
I think you'll grab anyone at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, but would you go Wembley?
Yeah. A nice day trip or something.
I can get about four or six tickets for Wembley.
Excuse me.
Who are playing at Wembley, right?
Well, we've got Sheffield United, haven't we? In the cup, you've got.
We've got games.
I don't have change. How are you gonna do this? You don't have change in the till.
Nothing.
I said it to him.
There's no change.
There's no point in me going to the semi-final. I'm going again.
But he was looking to try and get, what was he trying to get?
What the? What the? Right. So that's £2.52. £2.52.
Yeah, it's got me shampoo.
Shampoo for you
Yeah,
or for me?
Season for Old Trafford, so I never
for
struggled.
you.
I was on the Manchester City app.
Yeah.
It's left for that Liverpool game.
He was looking and he kept saying sold out, sold out. Is this a league game, yeah? Oh yeah, it is.
I can get tickets for that.
How much for?
Don't know. I'll have to, mine's I have to ring up and buy the tickets.
So you remember that?
Yeah. But I can't buy the tickets online. I have to ring up.
Oh, so we need to give you the money first and then you...
No, if you want the ticket, I'll just buy it and you just transfer it.
I see what you're saying.
You're gonna pay for the ticket. Yeah, trust you.
No, man, at least there's someone I can ring now, because he's been... I had one that someone gave away, like, said, but it was only one. I was like,
What's your hair?
And he's like, oh, I can't go on my own. I was like, you're not really a fan. But now he's really regretting because he wants to go now.
So, do you know the best time to take it?
Your hair.
Is it your son?
No, my brother. Oh, the brother, yeah.
Fucking
Your
love
hair.
it.
20, well, 30, 34. 23.
It breaks your hair. Damages your hair.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Not the light. That was, well, I went about 7, 8 years ago.
Looks like you've been working in the mine.
Yeah. Roof.
That must be a new thing.
Plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Plenty of time. Plenty. We've got after school club and it's till 4.
Oh, okay. If you can do that back there, back behind the counter, honestly, that'll be the best Friday for me.
Okay, sweet.
Best friend, is that it?
I'll send you a WhatsApp message, man.
Yeah, I'll get you a couple of
I'll ring the city up in a bit.
a couple of dollars.
A couple.
Well, I would like to, but I just want to talk to him first before. That's why. Yeah, I'm gonna see him tonight.
Buy one get one free. No, who said that?
Yeah, it should. That's how it should be.
Them tickets I got for Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free.
Jordan, you know, son's got one of them disability cards where he can just go straight in like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying that? So 28 quid.
28 quid for 2 tickets.
It's not bad though, is it? That?
That's great. That's an amazing price.
It's a good price, that, isn't it?
So why are they doing that? Is it?
It's not city, it's not everyone. It's just the number that I've got.
Now I told you about this guy. The only name that is missing from his birth.
He's one himself, that's why.
The only name that
He's a dodgy guy himself, isn't
I
he?
rang him this morning. I said,
Scott Dodgy Derbyshire.
I rang him this morning. I said, "Do you want a ticket for City?"
Yeah.
But no. I went, "Wow, 20 quid." I went, yeah. I went, "I'll put blessing under my t-shirt and walk in with him." That's not dodgy, you know.
Yeah, I'm mad, you'll be all up.
You're not correct. Maybe you can go with my brother, you know, Diana, since you both City fans.
I can go what?
You can go with my brother, but then you're both City fans. Unless I don't know.
I've been there.
He's only a City fan when he's been.
Yeah, I've been there countless amounts of time. I can't count.
I do need to go for a derby in my life one time.
Mate, the derby ones are the ones that are hard to get.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll get your ticket for the derby.
Gallows, you've got asbestos up there. Yeah.
You got what?
Has he got asbestos in that room?
No,
Are you sure?
You're going to die in a few years.
They're all going to die now, isn't it? In a few years, isn't it?
He's the guy who become famous, like mad famous, like people are doing his dance moves now after he's died.
Let's talk about this.
Trending on social media after death.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Now, Greg Hartwright and the man suing her over skiing
Yes,
6 years ago are both expected to give evidence today. Terry Sanderson,
They found that other lad now, haven't they? He was involved in that murder of that guy in Mosley.
Which murder?
Them two lads who've just been sent to prison with his ex-wife, that's Campbell. You not heard about it? Found him in South America.
South America. He killed someone here
And that's fled, yeah, Mosley.
and fled to South America.
Yeah, but the other three have been sent to prison already. Been on the run for quite a bit. And he got stopped in South America on drugs charges.
Oh, this extradition,
Eh?
you know where they can extradite.
Yeah,
What country was in?
South America.
Well, that's the whole continent, isn't it? But where in South America?
Venezuela.
It says that he could be sent to prison over there first for the charges.
And then they'll extradite and then you'll serve here.
He's fucked him.
Yeah, he's done that.
He's gonna do the time there and come and die here.
Nothing less than a South American jail as well. Jeez. They'll have like 50 guys in one cell. Yeah, he's done it.
Game over.
He's murdering people in Mosley as well. That's a lot.
How many people did they kill? 1 or 2?
So he got arrested on a small country on the northeastern coast of South Africa which borders South America. I said South America, didn't I? What did I say?
He's from South Africa.
Did you just read South Africa?
Did I say South Africa?
You said South
No,
America.
South America.
What are you reading?
Did I say South Africa?
No, you said South America. Yeah.
He said South America
But
first.
when
for the
you just
thing,
read
but
now,
then when you
you
start
say
reading, you start reading South Africa.
It's probably on your mind. That's
It borders, what's that? Is that G-Y-A-N-A?
A small country.
Guyana.
Oh, Guyana. That's French Caribbean.
Guyana and Brazil.
Yeah, that's French Caribbean. That.
drugs and South America. What?
So how did it come about? It must have been that maybe they arrested him and then they contacted the British.
Yeah, but they arrested him on a drugs charge over there. So he must have been dealing drugs over there.
Yeah, but how did they connect him and?
Because he was a wanted man.
British passport as well, isn't it?
I didn't give his name when he got arrested.
He won't do silly mistakes
Did
like that.
you not hear about the murder The guy got tied up in his house in Mosley and got tortured. Took all
How
his-
many
took all
years
his
ago?
clothes. Last year.
Last year, during COVID, or just after COVID.
highest for 14 years.
His ex-wife was the last.
Oh, so she paid
She
some
had,
guy.
she had a kid to him and everything.
She had a kid to the dead man.
Yeah. I wonder what he did to make it.
You're saying that last year, and last year they've already gone to jail and sentenced and stuff? From last year? It could be more than that. With COVID and stuff, man. Too many cases waiting, man.
Right into the heart of America's opioid crisis. As reported from around the world and around the UK. You phone Romeo Overton to let know. Look like it, sir. Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over, and this is a country in crisis. It is almost impossible to predict where these fires will go next. Ida has certainly left its mark on New Orleans.
It's heartbreaking.
There's no sign publicly, at least, of either side being willing to give ground. I wouldn't be sure in public. There's always the best good
Yeah!
Yes, there's a war in Ukraine
Huh?
now. At least 7 people have been killed by Russian
Yeah, I know.
That includes 2 people.
Yeah, I know. I need to come there. I need to come there and sort it out. Huh?
Now by the retired Vice Marshal Tim Battle. But as always, we do analysis. So let's just talk about the overview, the latest on
In interesting 24 hours, Ukraine has claimed that they've repelled 80 Russian attacks, but they've shown it's been particularly intense, and particularly it's not just military that died, unfortunately 2 civilians have been killed and 7 injured at Philippilia.
What I'll have to do then, sort that out, and I'll come back and do it on Monday, that bit. I'll go and sort a bit out for you now. I'll go and tidy up a little bit for you, yeah?
I'm coming there. We're gonna do it. Don't worry.
Right.
We're gonna do it and then
There's
you
no
go.
flipping room to move.
Take a break.
There's also
Take a break.
Yeah, I am doing.
Russian missiles in the Odessa region.
You alright, lovely?
Do you have like nail stuff?
Nail stuff. What kind of nail stuff are you looking for? Acrylics.
Chip your nails.
Got some
Jennings.
Yeah, acrylic brushes. Something else.
We do have.
Dusty, I look now for you.
We do have some stuff, but yeah, the acrylic. We have acrylic powder.
Yeah.
We have.
Do you have Biab by any chance?
What's that?
Biab.
Biab, what's that?
It's like in a bottle, build a jar. No, can't sorry.
So we've got these acrylic powder, UV gel. We've got the nails. We've got the acrylic nails.
Oh, right, no, you
It's called school there now. He only is 10 now, isn't he? No Broadway Hotel pub. You got that old Waller's pub.
We have these.
Henrietta Street.
Big.
It's near. Probably about 15-minute walk.
So when you see like a big rock,
And he's also been saying that we need to reach
No, they're makeup brushes. Thank you. I thought if anywhere else, I'd have something everywhere.
And I think what's fascinating about this is who's speaking truth to power to Putin. He's an unlikely candidate, but he does seem to be trying to do it.
And actually, that's one of the people.
Yeah, since there's no moments in Caribbean.
you want to take pic? This is YSL.
Can you shave too? This is £10, yeah, isn't it?
No, it's 12.70. We can't get those. The price is not going up for those. We can try and keep the price at. You can get it for £5. So I can get I can get a 45p off.
You've already charged me for
Yeah,
this,
no, I can get
so-
45p or the 45p off. So just you pay like 11.25.
That's cool.
Is it 11.25? 11.20? What was it? No, it's 12.25. 12.20.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Let's call it
Before
12.20.
you fall over it.
You don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, man.
Was it? Yeah.
When are you stocking up again, please, man?
Think next week. Or,
Next week.
Yeah, I'll let you know. What's that?
I know what it is. Yeah.
What colour?
Dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
Black
Oh, yeah,
or
that
dark?
too, yeah, man.
This is brown.
Them ones do. Can I have two though?
Nice one, my guy.
Alright, man. Take care, man. See you.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
No.
I'll see you
black.
soon, man.
Yeah. Two of them if you can.
Right, see you now. I'll take care.
Yes. Thank you. How much are they for?
£20. You pay card.
Cash, please. Is that alright?
Yeah, that's all.
Cheers. Thank
very
you.
much,
See you soon.
Scott, if someone comes here looking for me, tell them these. I rate these.
I'm getting an Uber in a minute.
No, you're not. You've got to help us here to do the job.
I've got to get ready.
No, you're not.
Go home and have a bath.
A man, it doesn't take a man. You're going out like 6 o'clock. You're going out like 6 o'clock. What the fuck are you going? Are you fucking girl? 6 o'clock.
Do you want that ticket for sitting?
Mate.
You've been asking the whole world. You want a ticket? It's like
my hair on you.
Yeah, it's like if I don't go there.
Then if you don't go, you'll be like, you owe me 50.
So you don't want to go anymore?
I've got the ticket, you clown.
No, you don't want to go. Why are you asking him then?
We were asking you, we weren't saying it to me.
It's being sarcastic.
No, you asked
No
him.
sense of humour again.
No sense of humour.
What the fuck?
Shut up.
What's that saying?
What are you doing? Why are you putting all that in there? Why don't you just put it all in your car and go to the tip? You're wasting boxes.
You are stupid.
No,
the most stupid person on the planet.
Why?
Go and have a look at my boot there, and you try and put one of these in your car, mate. Fucking go dirty like.
Put the
Never
sheet
seen
down
anything
then.
like that. No, mate. Don't put them. These things that irritate the skin, mate.
Yeah, that's why I'm not touching
Yeah.
it.
You know that. You know that, and then you're telling me why?
It's like asbestos. The other one that's touching it. Yeah.
Especially this old one. The new ones are fine. You know, the new ones I've got there, they're fine. But these, man, fucking.
Why are them other ones made out of something else?
They're stronger. Check there. This a bit like sponge, like this.
Where are
cat.
they? Where are the new
Here.
ones?
Like, you touch these.
You could sell, why are you making them? I bet you could sell them, you know.
By the way, take the picture of them, put them on your Facebook. I've got loads there upstairs. You can't count them, and I've got these here. These here, I will sell these, but these are the ones that we're changing. You see,
Yeah.
you see how bad they are. So these I bought from Selcos to fill the gaps that were here when I moved in. So go upstairs, take the picture of those upstairs, and you just put their ties for sale. They will sell. They're very rare to find.
It's 5:30 in the morning and the temperature is barely above 40. We're out with the rural homeless team in the woods, half an hour north of Norwich.
Just walk down a little bit, see if we can find it.
We have a list of sightings.
It's so mate. I had it tried to put it even in the car, mate. They are so invading, like they're just very dirty. Like you try and pass these down the car, mate. It leaves a white thing everywhere.
Good morning. Is that Connolly? Oh, Connolly, it's Becky. What's speaker, Kenny?
Hi.
Hello.
Been sleeping out here.
Where did you disappear to yesterday?
I'm here. Yesterday.
I came, there was a note there.
Oh. I was on mission yesterday.
You were having lunch.
Manchester.
Okay.
I went Manchester to pick something.
Alright.
To pick something up.
really cold. It is getting really cold now.
So those are the ones that we're throwing away.
Quite scary.
You know, these like that. You take a picture of these as well. Take a picture here like that.
How much you want for them?
Mate,
Get about 60, 70 quid for all them.
no chance.
What? How much?
They will stay there.
Another
They,
one.
they'll stay there until I find somebody to pay. You think you get 60, 70 quid for them?
Yeah.
No. No.
How much you just paid for all them?
I paid £250, I said to you.
I know you did.
Second hand, just different colour.
Alright. There's nothing wrong with it. It's still fitting the
We-
slot. I'd buy all them.
No, these are, you know, the other one. So I'm taking everything else off. So this is all the same thing like that. They all be like this. Take a picture of me like that. Put it on Facebook.
Just took a picture of them. I'm not putting you in.
Why not?
Because you won't sell.
What a racist! What a racist guy! Why would they not sell? Am I not sellable?
Alright, I'll put you in it then. Yeah.
Am I not sellable?
Go on, hold it back up then.
No, not these ones. They are like that. They don't have any beading like the end.
Smile.
They don't have any beading like at the end. You know? Yeah, no problem, pal. I've got stuff there that you need to put on for that Facebook. Sometimes you don't get good money for stuff. Yeah.
This is your room. There's the 5 of you.
Yes. My landlord decided to sell the house. So that's as simple as it gets.
How's your little boy?
It hurts. It hurts a lot. I mean, like I said, we were told it was our forever home. We were there 2.5 years, and then we were
We're
given
just
2 months
changing
to
some, you know, the tiles.
There's so many homes, there's so many Airbnbs, there's so many places that could be used to house local people, especially. But there are a lot of people, I think, that come down from our country with the idea that Cornwall is the best place ever. And it's not.
Living in one room
Right.
for
So,
months on end. with no
these
end
have to
in
go
sight.
upstairs.
All of them.
No, these.
Where are you?
They've got to go
Where are you?
Is it you see like I build like a pile there? I
Yeah.
don't
Whoa.
think you put more on that pile. Maybe
Where are
maybe
you?
to build another pile somewhere.
I don't have the money to be able
I'll
to
try and clean that.
I give anything to get anything.
Funding to help people like Kim is a big problem. Researchers from the universities of Kent and Southampton have recently found that government money for local authorities to tackle homelessness is 65% less per person in rural areas compared to urban. And while the overall number of homeless in the countryside is lower than in cities,
Bless you. That's because of that dot.
analysis of Sky News by a countryside charity has found that the number of people homeless in rural England has risen by more than 21% since 2018. More than 17,000 people classed as homeless in rural areas from 2018 to 19.
Right.
But last year that number jumped to nearly 21,000. Rural parts of the east and the southwest of England. The situation is so bad here, the Cornwall Council is spending £40,000 every single day putting people in emergency accommodation.
I don't see you from now until the 11th. Make sure you're ready for it.
The 11th.
Yeah.
Why will I not see you?
I don't know. Just make sure
We
you're
got.
Make sure you're ready for about 6 o'clock.
15 slaughterhouses.
6 o'clock.
About half 6.
What about that? What about that printer upstairs?
I don't know, I've got a taxi coming now, it's a minute away. I've already got a picture of that printer.
You've got a picture of it?
I think so, yeah.
No, you haven't.
I'll have a look in the thingy.
It's £5.99. Please, you paying card or cash?
I pay cash today.
Sorry, I don't have any change.
Okay. I can use a card if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And make life easy for you.
Right, Bob.
Really, it's 10 now, you know. Jesus. Going on it, you know. 105.
Thank you. Oh, they open now?
Yes, they're open.
I just passed through yesterday and then I said to the little boy.
Yes, that's right.
I didn't know that they're open. Right. See you then. Have a lovely weekend.
You too, love.
Bye.
Bye now.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see you then.
Sunday, come up there. Yeah, we'll come and play for till 2.
Make sure you're ready for about half 6.
Okay.
We're not have this and then carry on.
Look. Where you
Tidy the table.
No, where you carry on. See
Yeah.
those wigs there in the middle?
Yeah.
Where you clean the other one.
Yeah, I'll clean the other side.
You need to clean.
Yeah, we'll
You
do
know,
it.
this side here, like that.
This side.
No, yeah, this side here.
Yeah, I know where you mean.
Yeah.
I've seen it earlier.
Yeah. So what you do, you just stick these, put them down.
Yeah, we'll do all of it.
All of them.
Yeah.
And then you can easily just pass them. You alright, Bob? Anything I can help you with, huh?
Either can I just get this?
Okay.
Chloe's 22 and was living in her car before coming here. She says
Thank you very much.
Good day, yeah?
See you then.
it saved her life.
They've got me through so much. Mentally, my business, absolutely everything. Every aspect, they've got me through more than what anywhere else has, to be honest.
Yeah, just go around.
So I have both sides of my life in one way. So, because I could, if I didn't have here, I'd be back in my car on the streets and I'd probably relapse and drinking and using again.
In some of our most rural areas, becoming homeless is an ever-growing risk. The government says it's giving councils £366 billion to get some change. And has built more than 243,000 affordable homes since 2010. But campaigners say it's not enough.
First and foremost, we need to see a massive social house building program. We haven't seen in this country for years, and we get a significant proportion of that for rural communities where the problem is the
I'll be back in a minute, right?
Just
get your ears properly open.
It's something that we need to do, and that's what we need to change it as soon as possible.
In Norwich, there's been a change of life for Connolly. Just 8 hours after we found him in a tent, he's been given somewhere to sleep for at least 8 weeks.
They definitely moved quickly. I was actually surprised how quick they managed to get me into the room.
So you obviously got everything provided for you. Okay, there's some plates and bits over there. And food parcels. And you've got fridge and microwave, there's some toiletries.
I'm just so relieved. I'm really grateful, for what they've done. Helped me come here. So I'm definitely going to sleep well. I know it'll take a few days just, but it's definitely better than being outside.
For Connolly, it is a chance to rebuild. But not everyone facing homelessness gets this opportunity in what is a growing crisis in rural England.
Powerful report there from Dan Whitehead. Now, in the first of a series of reports from Yemen, Sky News has travelled to a city under siege. The war's been ongoing for more than 8 years, and half of the city of Taz is held by rebel Houthis, while the other half remains in government control. Well, we can take a look now at the history of the conflict, because the war in Yemen has been ongoing since 2014. In 2020, the United Nations said at least 227,000 people had died. Most of those deaths are from the indirect consequences of the conflict, famine, the outbreak of disease like cholera, and a lack of health infrastructure. Now, the war is being fought between the Shia Houthi insurgents with links to Iran, who control parts of the west of the country, including the capital, and the former Sunni government, backed by a Saudi-led coalition, which includes the US and the UK. The city of Taz is split into two. The Houthi control one half, and government troops the other. Sky's special correspondent Alex Crawford and her team are the first international journalists in Yemen since the Saudi-Iran agreement re-established diplomatic ties between the two states after a 7-year rift. This is their report and a warning that viewers may find parts of it distressing.
We're given a 2-vehicle government army escort to head towards the besieged city of Taz. It's been split in two for most of the past 8 years of war, with most key roads into and out blocked off by fighting. It's meant a uniquely slow torture for the Taz civilians, with the Houthi militia held to one half of the city by government troops who control the other. The city has been blasted to bits in places, with booby-trap bombs buried in gardens by the retreating fighters, and mines hidden in kitchen ovens to blow up any returning residents. They've been planted down alleyways and left in the piles of rubble and rubbish. The siege has brought parts of Taz to the brink of starvation, yet families are still living here. Mohammed shows us round the bombed-out shopping centre, which is now his home. His family's living in the basement.
A lot of damage to every floor that we've visited so far. A lot of hits on just this building alone. Over there is one of the Houthi bases, Mohammed tells us. It's by the old presidential palace. It's from there snipers pick off civilians or fire rockets. 3 of Mohammed's children were born in this siege. They all show signs of malnutrition and spend most of their lives inside. Of course I worry about them, Mohammed says. This isn't a safe place. I don't let them go outside on their own in case there are rockets or anything. Neither children nor pensioners are safe. Kaba was shot in the back by a sniper. Her home is right on the front line and she refuses to be pushed out. I refuse to leave my house, she tells us. I refuse to. The Houthis would shout at me, "Crazy woman, leave your house," but I will never ever leave. The war has never let up in Taz, and whilst there's increasing optimism about a negotiated settlement for the country, those hopes seem to have halted at the gates of this city. Just to give you an idea of how close they all are living to the front line, at the end of that road is where the fighting is, no man's land. And dozens of families are living in this area. And they've had to put up sheets to try and obscure the view of the sniper who has positioned himself just beyond there.
It means constant exchanges between the warring groups. We're defending our land and our families, one tells us. We want peace, another says, but they don't want it. They're killing innocent people and children, and that's why we carry weapons. This intransigence has led to one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters, with starvation, poverty and disease in the hospital wards, homes and streets of Yemen. 3-month-old Ayed is holding on to life by a thread, the youngest of 6 who've all had the same battle to survive, in a country where her mother has to choose between food or medicine, and she can pay for neither. My daughter was very weak and we needed to take her to the hospital, she explains. We didn't have the money, so we had to wait to try and get someone. By then, she was unconscious. Those like Fatima want justice too. The mother of 9 knows more than most about loss. They were kids, not fighters. She's talking about her children. 4 of them were blown up in one day. 3 were killed outright. The 4th, only a toddler, lost a leg. Photos of their mutilated bodies are all she's left of her babies. And she's praying for revenge for their violent deaths. She's compiled a file with their details and wants to track down those who fired the mortar shell that killed them as they were playing outside their home. Nothing can ever replace my children, she says. Layla, Hamid and Mahmoud, they'll never come back. Look at these pictures, she keeps saying to us. They're just children. She's pregnant again, but would have aborted if doctors had agreed. She doesn't want to bring another child into this war-torn place. She can't feed those she still has. Her 2-year-old Malik has sweet tea with yesterday's bread. It's her first and only meal of the day. Alex Crawford, Sky News in Taz City, Yemen.
Alex Crawford reporting there from Yemen. And tonight on Sky News, we will have a special programme inside Yemen, The Forgotten War. That's here on Sky News at 7:30 p.m. Now, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has expressed concern over growing tensions in the West Bank. That's when he met the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Downing Street today. We can hear the shouts from the protesters there as the two leaders shook hands on the steps of Number 10. And the visit comes with Mr. Netanyahu facing a national crisis back home over his plans to overhaul Israel's judiciary system. Well, joining us now is our political correspondent, Amanda Akas. And Amanda, we heard those protester shouts there as the two men met in Downing Street. What do we know about what went on behind closed doors?
Yes, so the Israeli Prime Minister faced a wave of protests at home and similar protests outside Downing Street as he arrived to meet Rishi Sunak today. Shouts of shame, some of the signs branding him a dictator on the run, people waving both Palestinian and Israeli flags, and critics really accusing the right-wing coalition he leads of a movement towards autocracy and watering down the powers of the courts in Israel. Particular concern about a move to change the law, which makes it harder for the courts to remove a leader deemed unfit for office. Now, Mr. Netanyahu himself is currently on trial for corruption, which he denies. He argues the law needs to change because elected judges shouldn't be overturning laws made by elected representatives, but clearly a huge amount of controversy there, and the protesters outside Downing Street really calling on Rishi Sunak, they said, to stand up for democracy in his meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister. They had a 45-minute bilateral meeting, and during that time Mr Sunak did raise the question. I'd say it's fairly light criticism, but he did raise it and was told in quite careful language, I think, he stressed the importance of upholding the democratic values that underpin our relationship, including in the proposed judicial reforms in Israel. He told he also raised international concerns about growing tensions in the West Bank as well, but they also talked about shared security concerns around the invasion of Ukraine and issues with Iran and the prospect of a free trade deal between the two countries in future.
Amanda, thank you very much indeed. Watching Sky News coming up. Sky News speaks to the star of Succession, Brian Cox, ahead of the final season. Can't wait for that one.
Interest rates peaking
up at 6%, the highest for 14 years. Will that be the peak? Will it be a little bit lower?
It shouldn't be too long. Just nipped out somewhere. Don't know why though.
He's always at it, isn't he?
I know it's been making me do this for him. You know what I mean?
Hello, but now again.
We are standing on the supply line right into the heart of America's opioid. I've reported from around the world and around the UK. You don't run the over look like it, sir.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long.
Yeah, I know.
Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over, and this is a country in crisis. It is almost impossible to predict where these fires will go next. Ida has certainly left this
First of all, why would you say?
There's no sign publicly, at least, that I would say being willing to talk around.
Not baby.
I usually assure the public.
Yeah. Go on then, put something on the phone, you think,
Welcome back now. It's pretty big news for fans of the hit TV show Succession. The good news is the next series is next week.
Yeah, I know you did. Now I'm only joking.
Aye.
I've done all that stuff, that's all done.
Yeah.
Everything's put back for you. We'll take them upstairs for you in a minute. All that shelf's done now. I'm going to take them upstairs, I'm having a bit of that first. No. I'll take them upstairs.
Just 1 second, Bob.
Social satire. It's
Any man of him?
about-
Nice, hang up the dock.
We don't see very many things.
I can't use that in the ear.
They're ignored. And it's a
Wow, can't pick and choose it without.
I'm not just that. The last time we got back together because we promised to manage and I had to leave him and all this shit. Then we split up again and then got back together. She'll pop chase my happy birthday.
Wow. Wow. I do.
The pursuit of independence. We can't separate ourselves. We are part of these certain tribes. But we should no longer be a united kingdom. We should be a united federation. We should be separate autonomous states.
One thing that has united Cox with Succession fans is an apparent appreciation for local rules and identities.
They come up and they say, "Can I take a photo of you guys?" And you go, "No, that's the easiest thing in the world for me to say, because I really do want to
watch it.
Yeah,
you're watching
television show to reveal a huge finally standing at the end.
Really looking forward to that series. Now let's take a check now on the weather. For some further blustery showers on the cards, and it is going to turn colder on Sunday as the northerly wind brings the return of overnight frosts. Still on the mild side this afternoon, so those with some spells of spring sunshine and bands of scattered showers moving northeastwards. Northern Ireland and much of Scotland is cloudier with the persistent stands of rain. Which could
The weather, sponsored by Fantana Electronics.
Does it go on your head?
Coming up on Sky, the King's State visit to France is postponed as anti-government
How do you shut it?
Discover new intense Philadelphia.
It's one fucking vinegar now. Right, I'll wait. I'll do that on Monday. Come in Monday morning and I'll do it all.
Why are you so excited? Chill, your beans. Chill your beans. What?
The ones that are too broke, like chipped, don't use them.
Pig? What monster pig meat? Rumble, yeah, rumble. Uh-oh.
Looks like a radio here. Hello, I am back.
Hello.
Can I have the phone? Can I?
Say no, no, no.
I want to watch. I like that. I like this. This is lovely. Look. Oh, look what he's doing. Oh, look at his hat. I've got a better hat. Check.
Don't you?
Right. So you finish work early on Fridays always?
Every day, mate, apart from Mondays.
Or you finish early every day? Apart from Monday?
Yeah, Monday I finish at 5, every other day 12:30.
After one, and you need to have a cut throat and go back to your
What does he want? Cut throat?
I just want a fade today.
Yeah.
In like 2 weeks, I need the back of my head bleeding.
Oh, okay. Where are you going?
Well, I'm in a tattoo on the back of my head.
Oh. Yeah, when it's bleeding or that foil shaving, it will still get it. It's very low.
Why are you talking so loud? Turn it down.
So why are you women? Why are you women fighting the trans?
I don't like it.
Not natural, is it?
Why are you fighting them? They say they're just another kind of woman.
But they're not women.
And you say, no, no, you're not women. You're not women. I mean,
They're not. It's not
what do you
willies.
gain from telling them that they're not women?
Not willies. It's like saying a trans man.
Okay, so you'll be happy for them to call you bleeders then?
Well, yeah, because I believe.
Alright.
Things like that don't bother me. I don't think it's normal.
Bleeders, feeders, breast. Well, I don't know. They come up with some, like to counter to avenge themselves.
I
Like,
do that because they're jealous because they can't do that. It proves they're not a woman.
so that situation where this man was actually sent to a woman's jail, this was Christmas come too early for him, innit?
Oh yeah, he was well excited. What, baby?
It created the whole debate, like the confusion and the, I can just identify as a woman today, and then tomorrow I say I don't feel like I'm a woman anymore. I'm just a man now. Me, how many forms do we have to fill?
Sports as well from women's sports now.
Yeah, women's sports and stuff. It's all messed up. How many toilets, public toilets, do you think we should have now? 4 or 5 or what?
No,
Imagine how many you'd actually have to have to make everyone happy.
I think we should have one for male trans, female trans, and then we should have one for the rest.
And then you've got the they, them,
And then the women, and then the men, and the disabled, and the babies. How many toilets do I make? 7 or 8 toilets, isn't it?
Half Ashton.
Yeah.
Full of them.
Yeah. Oh, there's an old man here today. He's, I don't know, I think he's a cross-dresser. Well, he had
going ahead and having the king
he hates his backside and stuff. Honestly, he came to buy a wig, yeah. I get what I feel here, you know, but I
It was the manliest man I've ever met in my life, and he just looked at me and went, I want to be called Michelle, in the deepest voice ever, and I had to walk off.
no, so he said, I want to be called Michelle. So he just told me, hi everyone. Hi. That's problem, man. What do you think? Hello, pal. How you doing? Oh.
And my boss came around and he was like, alright mate, what are you having? And he went, I'm not a mate, I'm Michelle. And I just looked at him and I walked into the kitchen and burst out laughing and he cried. And you could see that he'd stuffed stuff down his top and everything to make it look like he had tits, and he stood there like that. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. I honestly don't know, my boss kept a straight
It's
face.
as long as it is broad, isn't it? You're a man or a woman. If you want to have sex with other men, just be gay.
That's a bit.
I want to have sex with other men, but I want to dress like a woman.
Yeah, just be gay.
Actually, some of them like women though.
Hey, that guy is actually married, he's not a woman. He was telling us he's wearing the wig, and I said to him, you can use those pins to hold his wig. It's got like French, so it's got a part at both sides, so we can hold it, grip it down with the. He said, oh, I use the wife.
Some women accept it though. You find out their friends are cross-dresser and you're like, yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, it's alright. It's okay, pal, you're right.
Don't you ever come out to me as a cross-dresser. That's not okay.
But some girls actually cool with that. I mean, I'm not saying like serious about their man actually becoming a trans or whatever, but that he cross-dresses and it's good for a laugh or whatever. You know. But then he might love it, he might like it.
Right, he's dressed as a woman as a joke.
Yeah. Oh goodness me, this world is going. Like they say, like so the kids now, you shouldn't tell them. They start teaching them that you're not a boy or a girl. You can choose not to be any of them.
You're born what you're born.
They're saying that's discrimination, but the thing is, for the sake of protecting the so-called new rights, they feel like they have to go and impede on other people's rights, like the women's rights, and say, I'm a woman. But they did that with marriage. They say, oh, you are married. And people say, no. Everyone was against that. So they say, all right, we understand, yeah, marriage is a man or a woman, okay, we respect that, okay, we're just going to have a civil partnership. What about creating something just for us, you know, that we have? So they had a civil partnership, we give it to them, and then the guys used the civil partnership for like 2 years or something, and they came back, they were, well, that's discrimination, we want to be like you know, so, you open that little door, yeah. They just keep asking for more and more and more. I'll tell you the next thing they're going to be asking. I swear to God, I mean, they'll be asking next. People will show up and start asking to get married to their dogs and pets. Someone already told me that. Well, yeah, to have sex with them and stuff. Someone already told me that it's already happening. Some people are getting married to their dogs and stuff.
Wasn't there a woman in America that married a goat?
Yeah, things like that.
They fucking anything in America.
And then they'll do some research. Apparently a man and a man can have a kid. Like, I don't know, like through DNA thing. So they'll come up with that one too. So we can have kids like that. So we don't need a woman.
I saw a picture of a man breastfeeding a baby the other week.
A man breastfeeding. Have you got a metal? Have you got a detector in your head or something that can just sniff them? And I know them when I see one that I just know because they just exaggerate everything. They don't do it like a natural woman is just a woman, you know. She doesn't need to prove. Yeah, I remember that. But these guys are like, they have something to prove to everyone, you know. I'm a woman. It's like they're walking around with, you know, scripted on there. I'm a woman. Did you, or to say, just to confirm I'm a woman, or did you see that I was a woman?
Or do you see? I'm dressed like prostitute.
You dress up like prostitute, long heels, high heels. High heels. There's one that rides a bike here every time, passing there with a dress.
That's the one that did near husband.
Massive.
Imagine this 10 years ago.
Right? That's a natural evolution of the society. So, what will happen if your child
I can cope if she's
you
gay.
can cope with gay.
Yeah?
Be gay if you want to be gay.
Cope with gay, but she tells me she's a boy. No, you ain't.
No, you ain't.
You
are.
No. Have you got a willing? No, you haven't.
You just tell them like, simple. You don't have a willing, so you are a girl. Simple. That's the easiest way to explain that.
I won't like her to be gay.
And then you have those guys going in schools apparently telling kids that they don't need a willing to be a woman.
I really want to send her to a religious school because I know that won't happen.
Yeah, but they've accepted it last time on it's not accepted in Church of England. Yeah. They can get their marriage blessed in church.
What baby?
I don't know how that fits in the Bible. I just don't know. They might have to write a new Bible, you know. Well, not they might, they should, they must write a new Bible because the old one is just useless. It's useless. They make a mockery of, they're like, a so-called Christian, and like, it's just laughing stock now, being a Christian. Because, you know, Muslims will laugh at you and say, oh, your religion, you're guys that accept even things that are not allowed in your own Bible.
Actually, that's bad. Eat it properly, it's down as that a sin.
And they're trying to force people like in Africa and stuff to have the same, like to authorize and promote and stuff. People like me, no.
I read in the Sky News the other day that if you're gay in Uganda,
that's
death penalty.
No, I don't think
They're trying to change all that so it's accepted over there now because it's really bad to be gay.
it's against the law, even in Cameroon where I come from. Most African countries against the law. There's only 1 or 2 African countries who allow to be where you're allowed to be gay, where you're tolerated to be gay. That is South Africa. That's all. I don't even know another one. So in the whole, in the entire country like Africa, there's only one place, and that's South Africa, where you can.
Africa's a fucking big place as well, isn't it?
Very massive.
It's not like a little island.
It's the biggest. It's the biggest continent.
It's only Europe in America where it's seen as socially accepted.
Yeah.
I thought it was mad when we thought about how to is Jewish. My granddad is missing his South African. This is Jewish.
Jewish?
Yeah, Jewish. I was like, what the fuck? Neither did I.
They move everywhere. Wherever you see a white person, there will be a Jewish, you know, not far. Like even in Australia, they can't be Jewish. They just go anywhere. They love business, they love opportunities, they love making money. They're just clever ones. Very stingy, very, you know, very tight with their money. What? I don't have change, I'm leaving. I don't have change. I'm leaving. Where I get to 6. I don't have to eat. All right, lovely. So, again, do you have coffee?
You got plans in your family?
No, that ain't my family dialogue. Nothing to do with me, mate. Nothing to do with me, that.
Well, every human being is independent, even if they are. It's not.
I've got
You didn't choose to have, let's say, this ginger hair, did you?
No.
These are choices that you don't make.
Yeah.
Now, choices of what you become, you make.
Yeah, of
I can't
course.
remember was she a girl and then wanted to be a boy or
Yeah,
the other way around.
I think so. Yeah, it's nothing to do.
I've not actually met her to be honest.
Me neither.
She's a girl, she wants to be a boy.
But my friend Jordan, he's gay. I'm cool with that.
Jordan's alright, innit?
Yeah, but he's not in your face, though, is he?
He doesn't rub it in.
There are like a few categories of gay guys.
Yeah,
There's some
just
cool
a normal
ones that
guy
just,
that wants to fuck me.
yeah.
And then you've got the ones that have to show you that they're gay.
Walking around
They're
them.
annoying them.
Yeah, I'd say he's low key gay, Jordan, isn't he?
That was the guy I used to date with. After he was gay, he couldn't tell other than when he was with his boyfriend.
But so these gay guys are very knowledgeable and clever, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very clever guys. Like they go like some, you know, it's hard to find a gay guy that just on benefit or something. I don't know whether you find one, but they usually like people who work and earn big dough.
I don't think I've actually got anyone gay or anything in our family.
How short do you want the beard? Hello, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming now. Are you still crying? Why are you shouting? Why are you hiding? Where are you hiding?
Careful, you're great calm. You have to walk all the way home.
There's an obstacle from and through empty we have we understand the obstacle is from foreign office. And then the president and I would like to show our leaders and politicians there are a few people who they are willing to pay whatever price.
So whose hair color did she take? Is it yours?
Oh, natural hair colour.
Right.
Just a little bit lighter.
What if it goes to ginger when she's getting older?
It depends how ginger. If it's his ginger, it's not bad.
It won't be. It could be like that.
If
Actually.
it's that ginger, it's not too bad. But if it goes like bright ginger, I wouldn't know what to do with it. And because it's curly, because mine's naturally curly as well, so she look like Annie. What, baby?
So when does she start going to the nursery?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, isn't it?
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When is it? Is she gonna be 2.5? Is it 2.5 when you start going?
No, it's the term after your second birthday, so not 2.5 till like July, so kind of in between them both.
Okay.
Only going 2 days a week, they weren't yet to start with.
She's not gonna scream the place down, eh?
I hope not, because it's at the farm. I'm hoping with all
But they say that the first few days, first week, you go with her, don't you? You sit there. Huh? Some of them you do, aren't they? They tell the
The
parents to
first
come.
day she's doing half a day, isn't she? And then the second day, just throw her in the deep end.
Right.
I think I'm more bothered than anyone about it. Hopefully you'll like it though, baby, because you have all the animals at the farm.
Has she got, is there an alternative? She's got to like it.
Get it over me. You won't have a choice next year, baby, because mummy's going back to work
E-I-E-I-O. Singing for the hello. Very loud, aren't you? E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-O.
Come and let you up so you don't get cold outside.
I'll get you a white. Yeah. There you go. Thank you very much, Ron. E-I-E-I-O. You like singing for him? Righty.
Nice one, Dialogue. Thank you.
Take care. Send me a message, right?
Yeah, will do.
About one more stump. Is it?
So many words, so many meanings. But what do they mean for you and your finances? Stay up to date on Sky News. I'm Greg Mylan, and I'm Sky's Chief North of England correspondent. There is now a mandatory evacuation for this week. For many people, Harvey is far. Christchurch has been changed forever by what happened. Here is a river of blood coming out of the Moscow. We are standing on the supply line right into the heart of America's opium. I've reported from around the world and around the UK. You're trying to run me over, Sir Philip? No, no, like it, sir. Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over, and this is a country in crisis. It's almost impossible to predict where these fires will go next. Ida has certainly left its mark on New Orleans.
It just feels heartbreaking.
Regret the tweet, Gary. There's no sign publicly, at least, of either side being willing to give ground. How do you reassure the public that all of this is going to be?
Welcome back to the war in Ukraine now, and at least 7 people have been killed by Russian missile strikes. The dead include 2 people who were killed in the Sumy region in northern Ukraine. The military analyst and retired Air Vice Marshal Sean Bell.
Ukraine claims to have repelled 80 different attacks over the last 24 hours. The intense shelling has continued all the way on the front line, but that's not just killing military folks, it's also causing civilian casualties. And 2 civilians died and 7 were injured at Bilipilia, as with some of the devastation you can see on the drone footage here is pretty horrific. The Russian missile attacks, though, do seem to have diminished over the last few weeks, almost certainly because Russia is running very low on missiles. Ukraine has claimed that at least 2 of the missiles were shot down that were heading for Odessa, down in the southwest of the country, but there was a hit in Kostiantynivka here, just south of Bakhmut, and that hit an invincibility point, and one of these invincibility points was set up by the Ukrainians to provide a sanctuary for civilians. Heat, electricity, and power to try and help them. Unfortunately, in that strike, at least 3 women died and potentially several more. If we look actually more widely, and particularly around the fighting in Bakhmut, it's been led by Yevgeny Prigozhin and his group of mercenaries, the Wagner Group. They have been, if you recall earlier on in the conflict, they were making progress when the Russian military was not. Yevgeny became a lot more vocal. He started to become potentially a threat to President Putin. As a result, Putin's army has therefore taken away his ability to recruit convicts and reduced his supply of ammunition. Yevgeny's narrative has definitely softened towards the Kremlin, but in a recent interview he demonstrates that he's very much a military soldier rather than a political animal. He said in the interview, the fight against Ukraine is against Ukrainian soldiers, not against NATO. He said there's no sign of Nazis on the battlefield or anywhere in the Donbass. And he also made clear that Russia needs to decide where its new boundaries are going to be, and pretty quickly, because the Russian forces on the ground are running out of steam. All of these messages run completely counter to what President Putin has been running internally. Now, few speak truth to power in Putin's Russia, and it'd be really interesting, therefore, to see how Yevgeny Prigozhin's messaging docks with President Putin.
You're a bit hungry.
Figures seen exclusively by Sky News show that
She's
rural
got the
homelessness is
marquee ready.
growing rapidly. More than 20,000 people were classified as homeless in rural
Probably
areas,
not.
the latest figures, and many of them are out of sight and in desperate conditions. Dan Whitehead has been speaking to some of them and has this report.
It's 5:30 a.m. and the temperature barely above freezing. We're out with the rural homeless team in Norfolk. As dawn breaks, hidden behind a crumbling old signal box, we find Connor.
Hello?
He's 24 and has been sleeping out here for the last 3 months.
in the air.
Managed to find this tent for 5 years, the last bit of money I've had.
You obviously look really cold, probably.
Yeah, it is getting really cold now. It's quite scary.
Connolly's situation is not unique. Exclusive analysis for Sky News by CPRE, the countryside charity, has found the number of homeless in rural England has jumped 21% in the last 4 years. Less funding, a lack of social housing, lower wages, and a high number of second homes are just a few of the reasons. Newquay, Cornwall, 400 miles from where we found Connolly. Just metres from the beach is the Sandy Lodge Hotel. Its 50 plus rooms are full. There are no tourists. This hotel is completely full of people who are on the waiting list for housing here in Cornwall. Many of them were working full time or were paying private rents, and one decision by their landlord has completely changed their lives. So this is your room.
This is where we live.
Among them is Kim. She, her partner and 3 kids have been living in one room in this hotel for 4 months.
There's so many second homes, there's so many Airbnbs, there's so many places that could be used to house local people especially. But there are a lot of people, I think, that come down from up country with the idea that Cornwall is the best place ever, and it's really not.
So them 2 shelves, yeah?
Is spending 40
Them 2,
hours
yeah? Them 2 with them.
every single day putting people in emergency
What?
accommodation.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it chicken, then I'm gonna do it.
Hundreds of millions
I'll go and take some upstairs for you after.
A study found that money for local authorities to tackle homelessness is 65% less per person in rural areas compared to urban. Just 8 hours after we found Connolly in his tent, he's been given somewhere to sleep.
I'm just so relieved. I'm really grateful, for what they've done, help me come here. So I'm definitely going to sleep well. I know it'll take a few days to adjust, but it's definitely better than being outside.
For Connolly, it's a chance to rebuild. Not everyone
Harry,
facing
no.
homelessness gets this opportunity.
No.
In what is a growing crisis in rural
Yeah.
Dan Whitehead, Sky News.
Yeah, I'll just go and get my brother if not.
Time now to have a check on
I'll go and get my brother. He messes around with London and that.
Where are
And further blustery showers are on the cards, but it will turn colder on Sunday as a northerly wind brings the return of frosts. There'll be scattered showers this evening, some
Crazy,
heavy
innit?
and thunder, accompanied by gusty winds in the south, and longer spells of rain will affect parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. It It stays breezy tonight with showers or longer spells of rain, and the showers could turn wintry over the Scottish hills within 50 Saturday brings another day of thunderstorms and showers, heaviest and most frequent in the north, and they may feel it wintry over the hills. An area of more persistent rain, heavy at times, will spread into southern Ireland and southwest by the evening. Overnight rain will then clear southwards on Sunday morning to leave sunny spells, wintry showers, and a risk of snow and ice in the north. It will feel quite cold as well, with a marked wind chill. But after a widespread frosty start, Monday will be cold but mostly dry with some sunny spells and light winds.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
You're watching Sky News. Coming up. A city split by war. We have a special report from Yemen on the families carving out a life under siege.
Like 20 minutes. Wow, it's nearly 4 o'clock already, you know. Where's the time gone, man?
Hello, you're watching Sky News. The top stories this hour. King Charles' state visit to France has been cancelled after anti-government protests erupted in violence. The head of the school's watchdog says stopping Ofsted inspections would not be in the best interests of children. And Gwyneth Paltrow is expected to take the stand this afternoon as she's sued over a skiing accident 7 years ago. We'll take you to Utah just to see as Gwyneth Paltrow starts giving evidence. But in the meantime, the Climate Show is back tomorrow afternoon. Here to tell us what to expect is Tom Heath. Tom.
Well, thank you very much. We're actually going to be delving into our own minds this week to look at how the messages regarding climate change land with us. whether we respond to things that are scary, a little bit of worry, things that suggest the group is moving in a certain direction, or maybe something that says the experts think a certain matter. We took this board out to road test certain opinions with the good people of Piccadilly Circus to see how they responded to various messages. We're also going to the island group of Vanuatu in the Pacific, because they are very much at the front line of climate change. If you want to see how things are already fighting when it comes to more stormy weather, when it comes to rising sea levels, these Pacific Islands are really somewhere to get to. And then finally, we've got a really nice story about the migration of ospreys. Now, these are incredible, majestic birds. You can see them there. And these two have landed very close to each other after an epic migration all the way from West Africa. And what we're going to be doing is following a lady who is tracking their progress from Guinea all the way through the Sahara and up to Scotland, because some of them are facing challenges from climate change too. Stormier weather, different kind of, if you like, habitats and weathers on the ground affect what they expect and can affect the success of what is already a tricky and over 6,000-mile flight path. So that's something we'll be keeping an eye on both this weekend and in coming weeks.
Sounds like a good show. Thanks very much, Tom. As I'm news to bring you now, it's on the rolling strike that we've seen, including in the civil service, because more than 3,000 civil servants have announced continuous action. They're from the Public and Commercial Services Union, PCS Union, in 4 government departments, and that industrial action is starting from April the 11th. It's going to impact the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, the Forestry Commission, the Rural Payments Agency and the Marine Management Organisation. And it's really another escalation of the union's long-running dispute over pay, pensions, redundancy terms and other elements as well. So that's strike action from the PCS union. Their General Secretary Mark Swatka has said this action further ratchets up the pressure on ministers to settle our dispute, and members are showing no sign of backing down. They're standing up for themselves because they're fed up with being taken for granted. They demand the government holds meaningful talks with us and put some money on the table to get a decent pay rise. So that's the latest in the series of strikes in the public sector that we've seen. Now, in the first of a series of reports from Yemen, Sky News has travelled to the city of Siege. The war's been going on for more than 8 years, and half of the city of Taiz is being held by rebel Houthis, and the other half remains in government control. Let's take a look now at the history of the conflict. The war in Yemen has been ongoing since 2014, and in 2020, the United Nations said at least 227,000 have died. Most of these deaths are from the indirect consequences of the conflict: famine, the outbreak of diseases like cholera, and a lack of health infrastructure. The war has been fought between the Shia Houthi insurgents with links to Iran, who control parts of the west of the country, including the capital Sana'a, and the former Sunni government, which is backed by a Saudi-led coalition that includes the US and UK. The city of Taiz is split into 2. The Houthi control one half, government troops the other. Sky special correspondent Alex Crawford and her team are the first international journalists in Yemen.
Some new ones up on.
Yeah, it's the new ones. They are not cheap, those.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
You've used them before? No, they're
I've
not cheap.
put a few in, but only one.
Oh, okay. That's 747, please.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, they are expensive,
Are they?
especially these. They're
Yeah,
better. They're better than this shit. This like paper. But these are solid.
Yeah, are they? Don't break in your hand or anything.
Yeah, they don't break. Yeah, they don't break. These can just dismantle in your arms, like. You know.
Yeah. Nah, good though.
Yeah.
Actually,
Once
not this
once
way.
you change it all, should give us a
Yeah. Alright, nice one. Do it.
They've been planted down alleyways and left in the piles of rubble and rubbish. The siege has brought parts of Taiz to the brink of starvation, yet families are still living here. Mohammed shows us round the bombed-out shopping centre, which is now his home, his family living in the basement. A lot of damage to every floor that we've visited so far. A lot of hits on just this building alone. Over there is one of the Houthi bases, Mohammed tells us. It's by the old presidential palace. It's from there snipers pick off civilians or fire rockets. 3 of Mohammed's children were born in this siege. They all show signs of malnutrition and spent most of their lives inside. Of course I worry about them, Mohammed says. This isn't a safe place. I don't let them go outside on their own in case there are rockets or anything. Neither children nor pensioners are safe. Kaba was shot in the back by a sniper. Her home is right on the front line and she refuses to be pushed on. I refuse to leave my house, she tells us. I refuse to. The Houthis will shout at me, crazy woman, leave your house, but I will never ever leave. The war has never let up in Paris, and whilst there's increasing optimism about a negotiated settlement for the country, those hopes seem to have halted at the gates of this city. Just to give you an idea of how close they all are living to the front line, at the end of that road is where the fighting is, no man's land. And dozens of families are living in this area. They've had to put up to try and obscure the view of the sniper who has positioned himself just beyond there. It means constant exchanges between the warring groups. We're defending our rights and our families, one tells us. We want peace, another says, but they don't want it. They're killing innocent people and children, and that's why we carry weapons. This intransigence has led to one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters, with starvation, poverty and disease in the hospital wards, homes and streets of Yemen. 3-month-old Ayad is holding on to life by a thread, the youngest of 6 who all have the same battle to survive, in a country where her mother has to choose between food or medicine, and she can pay for neither. My daughter was very weak and we needed to take her to the hospital, she explains. When we didn't have the money, so we had to wait to try to get to her. By then, she wasn't conscious. Those like Fatima want justice too. The mother of 9 knows more than most about loss. They were kids, not fighters. She's talking about her children. 4 of them were blown up in one day. 2 were killed outright. The 4th, only a toddler left to live. And she's praying for revenge for their violent deaths. She's compiled a file with their details and wants to track down those who fired treasure shells that killed them as they were playing outside their home. Nothing can ever replace my children, she says. Layla, Hamid and Mahmoud, they'll never come back. Look at these pictures, she keeps saying to us. They're just children. She's pregnant again, but would have aborted if doctors had agreed. She doesn't want to bring another child into this war-torn place. She can't eat those she still has. Her 2-year-old child has sweet tea with yesterday's bread. It's her first and only meal of the day. Alex Clifford, Sky News in Town City. Alex Clifford, Down City. And tonight on Sky News, we will have a programme inside Yemen with the Britain War. That's the Our Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has expressed concern over growing tensions in the West Bank as he met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Downing Street this morning. The shouts from protesters could be heard as the 2 leaders shook hands wearing statues at number 10. And the visit comes with Mr. Netanyahu facing a national crisis at home over his plans to overhaul the Israeli judiciary system. And joining us now is our political correspondent Amanda Akans. Amanda, we've heard the protest there, didn't we? But what went on behind the doors? Well, the 45 minutes into the
but Rishi Sunak did offer some fairly light criticism of the highly controversial judicial reforms that have sparked this huge wave of protests in Israel and indeed outside Downing Street as well this morning. Now, critics are accusing Netanyahu and his right-wing coalition of watering down the role of the courts, particularly with this move to reduce the of judges and remove the leader sitting in the office, which is particularly pertinent given that he himself is facing these corruption charges, which he argues that these changes are needed to ensure that unelected judges don't overturn the will of the people. Outside this morning, calling on Mr. Sunak to stand up for democracy. And he didn't exactly issue a full throated challenge, but in a fairly diplomatic language, he did raise the issue earlier today. The leader in a meeting said that Mr. Sunak stressed the importance of upholding the democratic values that underpin our relationship, including in the proposed judicial reforms in Israel. Now, he also raised international concern about the growing tensions in the West Bank and the risk of undermining efforts towards the two-state solution. Now, interesting, it's lunchtime, Conservative Chair of the Defence Select Committee, Nancy Kearns, has seen pushing the party to go further. This is the biggest Jewish response to Israeli policy. She says what it means to be a critical friend to Israel, saying it seems dangerous when politicians are silent. Now, this wasn't the only issue that was discussed in this meeting, though. There was time that they talked about the common defence concerns in terms of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the situation in Iran, as well as the future trade deal between the UK and Israel.
And things up to speed on Sky News coming up. I'm speaking to a former diplomat that's after nationwide protests towards the cancellation of King Charles' state visit.
Interest rates peaking up at 6%,
the highest for 14 years. Will that be the peak? Will it be a little bit lower? Crisis closer to a potential crash.
So many words, so many meanings. But what do they mean to real life?
Great mind of Nine Skies, Chief North of England correspondent. There is now a mandatory evacuation for this trip. For many people, Harvey is the heart of Christchurch has been changed forever by the We are standing right into the heart of America's open space. I'm reporting from around the world and around the UK. You trying to run me over, Sir Philip? No, don't look like it, sir. Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over, and this is a country in crisis. It is almost impossible to predict where these fires will go next. Ida has certainly left its mark on New Orleans. There's no sign publicly, at least of either side, being willing to give ground. Have you reassured public that all of these mistakes wouldn't take place?
Global Insight. Made local. Invest in your future. Sky News Financial Reports. Sponsored by Interactive Investor.
Hey, welcome back. Let's return now to our top story. The King delayed his first state visit as protests in France and changes to the state pension age turned violent last night, leading the French government to ask for the trip to be postponed. We can speak now to Francois Joseph Chichan, who is a former French diplomat and political advisor to the French ambassador in the UK. Thanks very much for being with us. And the first state visit for the new monarch, King Charles, how much of a difficult decision will this have been from the French?
I think it would have been a very difficult decision because an important visit when it comes a few weeks after the summit between the Prime Minister and the President, where they decided the roadmap for the bilateral relationship in the years ahead. After years of disagreement and complexity in the relationship between the two countries, so that state visit, which is the highest type of visit you can have from the foreign dignitaries, was really a central element to kind of cement that reconciliation between the two countries. So it would have been a difficult decision. And it came down just at the last moment today because of this decision by the unions to conduct the wide protest across France on Tuesday, which is the day when the king was supposed to be in Paris.
I know it might sound like an obvious question, but why do you think
Dusty as out that.
difficult decision?
I feel like I'm going to be dusty now.
I don't think so much about security. It's kind of inside professional that they know how to make arrangements to make sure that everything goes smoothly. It stands for that people expect us to work for a more positive and more conducive so that the visit would not be overshadowed by the protest. So I think because it's understanding the rational take at this time. But I don't think there is a specific security concern about and one thing I would add.
I saw you.
Right, I think I'm finishing now. It's 10 to 4. Right.
We have a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, and as you say, I guess how France is
So you're one of those that fights to fill every day.
Okay.
It's pretty not curly.
Yeah. And we do perfumes as well. You know, like Sauvage.
Yeah.
La Vie Belle for girls, Alien, Chanel. They like copies, but they're good.
Right.
They're good stuff. You're paying card. Card is better, to be honest. What's that?
I have to shower now when I go home.
Oh, did you shower in the morning?
Yeah, I shower every time, thanks.
Yeah, but I thought you showered
It's a bit personal, isn't it? Do you shower every day?
Not quite with him. It's,
I shower near enough every day.
Near enough?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, 2 days, maybe, at least.
Alright.
Personal questions, all these.
Yeah, only your missus is supposed to be asking you those questions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Does it matter whether we can shove in there and get your bag? It's better to get a bag in it.
You just can't be asked putting it back in the box.
Yeah, it's not bad because the next thing you gotta do is to take it out and put it in the bin. I don't know what you need.
No, I don't want the box. You can have it.
Alright, thank you.
Thank
He wants to keep it for his whatever he is.
See you later.
See you now.
Thank you.
See you. You hold the sit there. Bloody hell. I don't know whether I'll have enough for there. What I might end up doing is that little corner there, I just put those ones that we've removed. You see, like those ones that have a little mark on them. Yeah, to put them over there.
Right, in the...
Because,
yeah. Good point, good idea.
Because I still have a few here to change. I'll change that. Yeah. And I'll put a marker on it.
Yeah, put a
so
marker
I'll change that.
On Monday, I'll come and help you do the rest of it.
I don't think there will be more, but there's always more work here.
You just do my side.
Any time you come, there's always work here.
No worries. On Monday,
I could even get you a 2 hours or 3 hours working in a week, like cash job.
Kids are off. They're in school for a week and then they're off, aren't they? So that'll do. I'll come down and do it. Just let me know I've got your number now.
They're in school in a week.
They're in school for a week and then they're off for 2, aren't they?
Is it for Easter?
Yeah.
When is Easter starting?
Is it next week?
the relationship.
I can't remember. It's too hard to keep up. Can't keep up with everything.
Yeah.
Like kids at home, we can't keep up with the names. I keep forgetting the names. Especially with all my family and all.
You're not free on Sunday, are you?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
free on
I
Sunday?
play football Sunday.
Oh, okay. So you're really the man for weekdays.
Yeah, weekdays.
Hey, what day next week is she not working? Where she's gonna be home with the kids? Wednesday, okay. Wednesday, we're gonna have to go to my house in Manchester.
Yeah.
I've got mold to deal with the mold. Like we need to have like
clean it.
Yeah, to clean the molds. Like
Yeah,
you,
yeah, I know.
do you know how to do them?
Yeah,
they
clean
said
it,
you use
just
like
clean it.
they said you use like bleach.
Yeah, you
and
can
the
just
stuff.
You can get something from B&M for a grout killer.
Is it?
Yeah, it's something grout.
So we will get that.
Yeah, then I'll come and help you clean the mold.
Yeah.
I did my windows, my kids' windows, because they had mold all over it. I cleaned it all myself.
Oh, okay.
You know, because of the house. The house is not very. That house what we got given is not very nice. But you can't. If you
Yeah,
get
even the one that I've got is not really nice. I think the window upstairs is leaking. The frame of the window there is just a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
it
what
is
it's like.
what it is. It is what it is. But honestly, you did me such a massive favour here today.
I'm not bothered now. You know what? I like helping people out, man.
Yeah,
that's what I could do.
The guy was supposed to come here today. When he comes, he'll be shocked. He's like, oh, fuck, you don't like, oh, I said, mate, just do the lights. Just do the lights, we'll be fine.
I was just getting paranoid about the lights. I didn't want to break the lights. Because they're expensive then. Especially for all free. Especially on
There's free on them. Some of them they're not quite lucky. I can see there now. There's some that are actually gone out.
Yeah.
That needs replacing.
Yeah, that one was there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's playing there.
There's one here above you.
Yeah, the ones that are not coming up, it should be free everywhere. So I need to check. Then I will need to order as many. Like, but they are expensive right now because they help for energy saving. So because everything is going up, imagine the price of them as well. It must have gone up because they are
told the price of everything's gone up.
They are told that allow people to save money.
Like food, gone up, everything. Gas and electric. Gas and electric, expensive. It's too expensive, man, these days. Too much crap. At least you got some of it done though, didn't you?
You got all the,
at least you got some of it done, and up them shells with the heads on it, they're all clean.
I need some cutting there, aren't I?
Yeah, just 2 pieces, that's it. Straight pieces. No one will notice it anyway.
Yeah, I need to find those. I'll find those. I need to go to Selco and buy. They probably.
Is that where you got them from?
No, I bought the tiles from some tile from there. So they probably sold in a pack of something, maybe pack of 6 or something like that. I'll buy 6. If not, if it's 12, I'll buy 12. But if it's only individual, then I'll just have to count how many I need in here and just grab the correct amount.
Nice one, thank you.
Something that has united Cox with succession bound is an apparent appreciation for making rules
Home now, see these little kids.
What time do you have to be home for?
She's going out at 20 past, so I've got plenty
Where's your
of time.
bike?
I left it at home.
Did I not see you with a brand new bike?
Yeah. The blue one, isn't it?
Oh, you should come here sometime with a bike and we'll go biking somewhere.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I've got, you see my bike up there?
Yeah, it's nice.
I've got 2 bikes like that upstairs.
Right.
Yeah. So you should come and
I'll go biking with you one.
You got what?
I'll go with you one time.
In fact, you don't even need to have a bike. You really need to have a bike because I've got 2 bikes here.
And it stayed quite breezy tonight with showers and rain.
So where did you get the bleach from?
Bleach?
Yeah, did you buy it online?
Just that live. It's just that.
Oh, you bought from a
yeah,
shop?
Live. Yeah, just from the shop. And then I did the blue, but the blue's died out of it. You know that semi-permanent what I got off you?
Okay.
It's just semi-permanent in it, so it's washed out. But I'm doing it again for. I've got a game soon, so I'm gonna dye it blonde again, and then obviously do the blue. I want my hair blue for him, man. I only did it for Jensen because I play football for him, don't I?
Why blue? Why not red
Nah.
Sheffield?
Nah, blue for him because he's a City fan, innit? Nice one, thank you. Looks alright now. Oh. I'm gonna be tired tonight now. When I go
What's
home. I'm gonna be tired.
Who, me?
Me.
Oh. Another normal day for me.
You've done well.
You've
done well, so you've been doing that as well. Done really well.
You're getting rid of them. That's another one.
So Monday, I'll
is
come
this-
to you on Monday. So you can
and
and
yeah,
Wednesday as well.
them places they close at fucking 6 o'clock. The what do you call it?
What?
The tick.
The tick. Oh yeah.
I need to remove my names, the address on the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remove your names.
Yeah, if you leave them there, mate, they'll find you. They say that you went there to drop some business, business waste. You have to go to the bridge and pay.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
According to them, you have to go to the weighing bridge
Yeah.
and pay. How many Red Bulls do you drink in a day?
2.
That's not good.
I know it's
Too
not.
much is not.
I need to stop drinking.
Too much of anything is not good. Mate.
I know it's not good.
Later on, it gets you to sugar diabetes and stuff. Yeah, it gets you. You got the knife?
I'll put it
Coming out today.
Is it over there?
back on that.
In France caused the king to delay his first state visit there as monarch.
Is it on that table?
Would have really not been feasible for neither the British nor for us. Would have been to have tried to carry on as if nothing was happening.
The Palfrow is due to take a stand this afternoon after being accused of
Right, thank you for that.
to a man during a skiing accident.
I'll give you a message.
The school's
Monday,
regulations
I'll
said
phone that
continue
Monday.
despite calls for calls after a teacher took her own life. More turmoil in the banking sector after a sell-off leads to a 13% drop in Deutsche Bank's share price. Plus, at 5:30, we'll have a special report on the worrying rise in homelessness in rural England. Good afternoon. The King has delayed his first ever state visit as monarch. Protests in France over changes to the state pension age led the French government to request the trip was postponed. Well, President Emmanuel Macron said it wouldn't have been possible to carry on with the trip as the protests weren't happening.
J'ai pris l'initiative ce matin de l'appeler et de lui dire. I called the king myself this morning to tell him what the situation here is, and based on common sense and friendship, we decided what the best course of action would be. What would have really not been feasible for neither the British nor for us would have been to have tried to carry on as if nothing was happening, despite what the actual situation is. So we will reorganise this for when calm returns, and we suggested that come the beginning of summer, and with our diaries allowing, we will announce details of a new state visit, which will allow us to properly welcome the new king and the queen consort, and to do this in conditions that will allow us to show off France in both Paris and Bordeaux.
Well, our royal correspondent Laura Bundock has the latest.
They will have weighed it up very carefully before Macron called the king to suggest that was really the only course of action. I think the French, from their point of view, would have had to have looked at what would have been worse, going ahead and having the king face to face with the kinds of protests we've seen in France recently, or cancelling this event. And I suppose there was no alternative. And the real sense, I think, with this extra day of protests organised on Tuesday, the day the king was supposed to be going to Bordeaux, the protesters would use his visit as an opportunity to try and inflict maximum humiliation on the president. But this is bad news all round, really. This whole visit was organised as a way of improving and renewing the Anglo-French relations, particularly after the divisions, the disputes following Brexit. This was being seen as a moment of celebrating the shared values between the two countries, a real moment of reconciliation as relations are thawing between Britain and France. But it's not to be. We've had this brief statement today from Buckingham Palace confirming the decision. It simply reads, the King and the Queen Consort's state visit to France has been postponed. Their Majesties greatly look forward to the opportunity to visit France as soon as dates can be found. I mean, the visit itself was going to be a big event. There was a huge set piece at the Arc de Triomphe on Monday. The King was going to be addressing the Senate from the chamber floor, the first time a British monarch has done that. There was a visit for the Queen Consort, other engagements, and then this huge lavish state banquet at Versailles. But the optics of all of that, particularly the Versailles, very early on started to look wrong and feel wrong, and I think the nervousness rapidly ratcheted up to this point where we've seen the whole thing cancelled. I say the whole thing because the Germany part of this state visit will still go ahead. The King and Queen Consort due to visit Berlin and then head on to Hamburg. Timings are still kind of to be confirmed about that, but we're pretty sure it will be going ahead. They're meant to be there on Wednesday until Friday. We'll find out exactly when. As for the dates of the French visit, it has of course been postponed, not cancelled. With the coronation coming up at the beginning of May, it seems unlikely the King will get there before them. So as Macron was saying there in his statement earlier, it seems this could be well into the summer before this big state visit to France is rescheduled.
Laura Bundock, the latest on that story. Now, the Ofsted Chief Inspector Amanda Spillman says that stopping school inspections in England would not be in the best interests of children. The head of the school's watchdog has been speaking after calls for the checks to be paused following the death of a head teacher in January. Ruth Perry took her own life while waiting for an inspection report, but downgraded her school from outstanding to inadequate. Well, in a statement, Amanda Spillman said, the sad news about Ruth has led to an understandable outpouring of grief and anger from many people in education. There have been suggestions about refusing to cooperate with inspections and union calls to halt them entirely. She added, I don't believe that stopping or preventing inspections will be in children's best interests. Our aim is to raise standards so that all children get a great education. It's an aim that we share with every teacher in every school. Well, the National Association of Head Teachers welcomed the response, but said that Ofsted had underestimated the strength of feeling among teachers.
Sent shockwaves through the profession, and I know inspectors were happy about inspecting last week, so I think the decision not to have a short-term pause last week was tinny. I'm really disappointed they didn't just stop and reflect and taken 7 days for Amanda Spillman to make that statement, and those warm words are welcome. But I think the 7 days, it's caused real anxiety. My phone hasn't stopped pinging with colleagues anxious about Ofsted. I've had sleepless nights because my school is due Ofsted any time, and I do worry about, is the systems in place if I get an inspector who's having a bad day?
Our correspondent Elena Veselinovic has more.
Amanda Spillman, the chief executive of Ofsted, said that the death of Ruth Perry is a tragedy, but she also said that the answer to that is not stopping inspections, because at the end of the day they serve to uphold a standard in the education of children. They look at things like how are children being taught academically, how is their behaviour managed, and then also if a teacher knows how to deal if a child is being abused or harmed in some way. Now, Amanda Spillman, the Ofsted chief, also got support today from the Prime Minister, number 10, issuing some words by the spokesman saying that these inspections are really crucial for parents to have confidence in choosing their schools, and they provide transparency for parents. However, Ofsted does acknowledge that these kind of inspections can be challenging, and Amanda Spielman did say that there could be some room for debate around the grading system, because it is this grading system that most unions have an issue with. Teachers say it's too much of a blunt instrument. There are 4 grades, there not a lot of room for nuance there, and what teachers say is that they provide just a snapshot judgment, if you like, of the school over 2 days, and not the full picture of everything that that school and that school community does. Now, what the unions say they want is to replace that with a more thoughtful approach, a thoughtful assessment that also takes into consideration the teacher well-being. Or some unions, like the National Education Union, have gone even further, saying that the whole of Ofsted should be scrapped and replaced with something altogether different, because they say it's become a toxic brand. But we've heard also from the former chief of Ofsted, who said that Watchdog has actually done a load of good for education since it was established. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Where one aspect of the school is deemed to be inadequate, and it overshadows everything else, obscures everything else that the school does well, that is a problem. And Ofsted has to look at that. And I know that Ofsted will look at the whole idea of a report card. I know the Labour Party are considering replacing grades with a report card with a list of strengths and weaknesses in the school, and that's something Ofsted no doubt will consider. The only problem with that, of course, is that parents might be confused by that.
And that point, that parents might be confused by more descriptive assessment, is what Ofsted are saying that what right now might be a little bit, but it is a snapshot, a clear summary, if you like, of what the school is doing at the moment. They say that's crucial for parents, but also crucial for the government to know if the school is failing, that they need to step in.
Milena there on the latest round about Ofsted inspections. Now, in the first of a series of reports from Yemen that Sky News has travelled to a city under siege. The war has been ongoing for more than 8 years, and half of the city of Taz is held by rebel Houthis, and the other half remains in government control. Well, we can have a look now at the history of the conflict, because the war in Yemen has been ongoing since 2014. In 2020, the United Nations said at least 227,000 people had died. Most of those deaths are from the indirect consequences of conflict, famine, the outbreak of diseases like cholera, and a lack of health infrastructure. The war has been fought between the Shia Houthi insurgents with links to Iran, who control parts of the west of the country, including the capital Sana'a, and the former Sunni government backed by a Saudi-led coalition, and that includes the US and UK. The city of Taz is split into two. The Houthi control one half, government troops the other. Sky's special correspondent Alex Crawford and her team are the first international journalists in Yemen since the 2011 agreement was established at the time between the two states.
I think it comes back to about 750.
This is their reports.
798.
What, you got no change now?
I can get you like 20p's and stuff. That'll be, unless you want to take something for £2. I don't know, about a comb. See like what combs there are. No.
It's meant to be torture for the Taz civilians, with the Houthi militia held to one half of the city by government troops who control the other. The city has been blasted to bits in places, with booby traps by the retreating fighters, and mines
you know what, just keep changing.
But you've got these. Have you got these? That's what it's like.
The siege has brought parts of Taz to the brink of starvation.
Obviously, thank you very much, man.
Still living damage to every floor that we've visited so far. A lot of hits on Gus's building. Alone. Over there is one of the Houthi bases, Mohammed tells us. It's by the old presidential palace. and it's from there snipers pick off civilians or fire rockets. 3 of Mohammed's children were born in this siege. They all show signs of malnutrition and spend most of their lives inside. Of course I worry about them, Mohammed says. This isn't a safe place. I don't let them go outside on their own in case there are rockets or anything. Neither children nor pensioners are safe. Kaba was shot in the back by a sniper. Her home is right on the front line and she refuses to be pushed out. I refuse to leave my house, she tells us. I refuse to. The Houthis would shout at me, "Crazy woman, leave your house," but I will never ever leave. The war has never let up in Taz, and whilst there's increasing optimism about a negotiated settlement for the country, those hopes have halted at the gates of this city.
Just to give you an idea of how close they all are living to the front line, at the end of that road is where the fighting is, no man's land. And dozens of families are living in this area. They've had to put up sheets to try and obscure the view of a sniper who has positioned himself just beyond there.
It means constant exchanges between the warring groups. We're defending our land and our families, one tells us. We want peace, another says, but they don't want it. They're killing innocent people and children, and that's why we carry weapons. This intransigence has led to one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters, with starvation, poverty and disease in the hospital wards, homes and streets of Yemen. 3-month-old Ayad is holding on to life by a thread, the youngest of 6 who've all had the same battle to survive, in a country where her mother has to choose between food or medicine when she can pay for neither. My daughter was very weak and we needed to take her to the hospital, she explains. But we didn't have the money, so we had to wait to try and get something. By then she was unconscious. Those like Fatima want justice too. The mother of 9 knows more than most about loss. They were kids, not fighters. She's talking about her children. 4 of them were blown up in one day. 3 were killed outright. The 4th, only a toddler, lost a leg. Photos of their mutilated bodies are all she's left of her babies. And she's praying for revenge for their violent deaths. She's compiled a file with their details and wants to track down those who fired the mortar shell that killed them as they were playing outside their home. Nothing can ever replace my children, she says. Layla, Hamid and Mahmoud, they'll never come back. Look at these pictures, she keeps saying to us. They're just children. She's pregnant again, but would have aborted if doctors had agreed. She doesn't want to bring another child into this war-torn place. She can't feed those she still has. Her 2-year-old Malik has sweet tea with yesterday's bread. It's her first and only meal of the day. Alex Crawford, Sky News in Taz City, Yemen.
Tonight on Sky News, we will have a special programme, Inside Yemen, Forgotten War. That's here on Sky News at 7:30. Well, there's been more unease in the global banking sector today. Shares of Deutsche Bank fell by as much as 13% this morning as part of a broader sell-off that's affected other lenders as well. Well, our business presenter Ian King is at the city for us. And Ian, why Deutsche Bank?
Well, I mean, it's not just Deutsche Bank, Sophie, let's be clear about that. In fact, the biggest fall in Europe right now is a bank called Sydbank, which is based in Denmark. That's off 11%. Nordea, which is Finland's biggest bank, that's off some 9.5%. By comparison, Deutsche Bank has clawed back a few of the losses it incurred earlier on in the session. It's now down by just some 7% since the start of the day, with the last half hour of the market opening upon us.
But I think Deutsche Bank has been singled out really because investors are very nervous about the banking sector, both here and in the United States. Obviously, Silicon Valley Bank, the sixth largest lender in America, had to be rescued a fortnight ago, or the Federal Reserve backstop depositors. More or less over last weekend, we saw Credit Suisse, the second largest lender in Switzerland, being forced into a shotgun marriage with its larger rival UBS, engineered by the Swiss authorities. And incidentally, that move, I think, is behind a lot of the unease that we're seeing in Europe today, because that rescue saw the entire class of bondholders wiped out. And it was controversial because normally bondholders come above shareholders in the creditor hierarchy. Shareholders in Credit Suisse did emerge with something for their shares. This particular class of bondholders didn't. It's going to be an absolute bean feast for the lawyers. But it's made investors look at some bond issued by banks and think, well, hang on, do I really want to hold these? And accordingly, you've seen a rise in the increase in insurance against defaults for banks like Deutsche Bank. The instruments involved are called credit default swaps, and they've shot up in the case of Deutsche Bank today to 4-year high. There's also a lot of activity going on in the options market. Now, Deutsche Bank has had its fair share of thrills and spills over recent years. Like Credit Suisse, it's had a few stumbles. Credit Suisse, by the way, just about every stumble imaginable over the last decade. It's recently reported its worst losses since the financial crisis, and warned that it would lose money again this year. Deutsche Bank, by comparison, while it's had a pretty rough decade, over recent years it's actually turned itself around, and actually last month it reported its best results since the financial crisis. Full-year operating profits of north of €5 billion. Actually, all about these generally, and that's really what's behind all this. You've got the weekend coming up. A lot of people are squaring off their books ahead of the weekend. You're also at the end of the quarter, and that may be contributing as well, I think.
Ian, thank you very much indeed. Ian there telling us the latest from the city. Well, let's look at some of the day's other news now, because more than 3,000 civil servants in 4 government departments have announced a programme of continuous strike action from next month. The action will affect the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, the Forestry Commission, the Rural Payments Agencies and the Marine Management Organisations. Well, there's another escalation in the long-running dispute over pay, pensions and job security. The BBC says it won't resume filming of Top Gear's latest series. That's after the presenter, Freddie Flintoff, was injured in a crash last year. The former cricketer was taken to hospital after the accident in December. He's been silent on social media ever since. Well, the BBC hasn't commented on Flintoff's cricket show. Visitors to Westminster Abbey will soon be able to stand in socks in the exact spot where King Charles will be crowned on May the 6th. Special guided tours to mark the coronation will include access to the Crossmarty pavement, which is one of Britain's greatest medieval art treasures. The 13th century mosaic floor, which is usually roped off, has been the site of the coronations more than 700 years. Watching Sky News. Coming up, the military analyst Sean Bell will be here with the latest on the war in Ukraine. We're going to have a look at the role the Wagner military group is playing.
Interest rates peaking and up at 6%.
The highest for 14 years.
It might be the peak. Will it be a little bit lower?
It's closer to a potential crash.
So many words, so many meanings. But what do they mean for you and your finances? Stay up to date on Sky News.
There is now a mandatory evacuation for this street. For many people, Harvey is far from over. Christchurch has been changed forever by what happened.
There was a river of blood coming out of the hospital.
We are standing on the supply line right into the heart of America's opioid crisis. I've reported from around the world and around the UK. You don't run me over, sir. No, look like it, sir.
Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over, and this is a country in crisis. It is almost impossible to predict where these fires will go next. Ida has certainly left its mark on New Orleans.
It just feels heartbreaking.
There's no sign publicly, at least, of either side being willing to keep ground. How do you reassure the public that all of these mistakes wouldn't be made again?
Let's go to the war in Ukraine now. At least 7 people have been killed by Russian missile strikes. The dead include 2 people who were killed in the Sumy region in northern Ukraine. We're joined now by the retired Air Vice Marshal Sean Bell. Good to have you with us. And I always like to start the stuff with a bit of an update on what's happening on the ground. I feel like we've been hearing an awful lot about the spring offensive. Is there spring happening now? What is going on?
The spring offensive, we've always talked about it both sides. The challenge has been for Russia. They've almost gone across the start early, and partly that appears to be out of fear of what the Ukrainian spring offensive might bring, because that's when the tanks are going to come in. The Russians have no answers to that. The Russians have been doing, even though the weather isn't suitable, so they've been quite a road, it's muddy and really difficult, they've thrown the kitchen sink at trying to get some sort of progress, primarily along the eastern front. And actually, frankly, they've made very limited progress at all. And almost certainly, they've run out of steam, and they've been redeploying their Russian forces now away from that front line in response now, because they fully expect in the coming weeks the Ukrainians are going to start to push, and they need to be prepared for that. If we look actually what's happening on the ground at the moment, the Ukraine claims they've repelled 80 attacks over the last 24 hours. There's been intense shelling all over the place, but it's not just the military that dies. Unfortunately, innocent civilians get caught up as well. Reports of 2 civilians dying and 7 injured in Belyanka, and that was, we had some video clips about, and it was just devastating, the effect on the village there. There's also the Russian military that the missile attacks have decreased significantly over the last few weeks, probably because Russia's running short of those missiles. The Ukrainian claimed that 2 missiles are heading for Odessa down by you were shot down overnight. Unfortunately, one got through at Kostianka here, and that's unfortunately hit an invincibility point. Now that is a Ukrainian initiative that's designed to provide protection for civilians. It's got heat, water, and some basic utensils. Unfortunately, that hit took 3 women got killed, and it looks likely several more will have been injured.
It's just a reminder, isn't it, as you said, of the absolute destruction to civilian life, in Ukraine, as everyone knows. I'm interested to talk about the Wagner Group, because it feels like this is the kind of fascinating sort of underbelly, I guess, to the war, because who's this guy? What's going on?
Yeah, Evgeny Prigozhin, who's the head of the Wagner Group, he was a convicted thief, and he's now become the head of the Wagner Group, a bunch of mercenaries, and does a lot of dirty work around the world on behalf of President Putin. If you recall that the fighting, the Russian army wasn't doing very well, particularly in the Bakhmut area, they brought in these guys, and they have made progress, albeit slow. Because they were making progress, his influence starts to rise. He was very critical of the Russian leadership, particularly the army, and all of a sudden President Putin started to feel threatened. He denied him access to the prisons where he was getting convicts, his recruits, And he also denied him some ammunition. Now, of course, they were at the front line of Bakhmut. Ammunition is essential. So all of a sudden, his language has definitely softened towards the Kremlin. But in a recent long interview that he did, it's evident he's not a political monster, he's a military monster. And in this interview, he said very publicly, he goes out on their state television, the fighting in Ukraine that was actually against Ukrainian soldiers, nothing to do with NATO. He said that they've not encountered any Nazis in Donbass at all. And he also said that the new Russian borders need to be defined pretty quickly because the Russian forces were running out of steam. All those messages run completely counter to Putin's. Now, we always wonder who speaks truth to power in Putin's Russia. It's unlikely candidates do it, but it'd be really interesting to see how this messaging dogs.
And you do often see, don't you, the kind of military leaders playing a role in the downfall of some of the leaders too. I mean, obviously, maybe that's...
Well, it's particularly interesting here because what is his agenda? He's a convicted, he's a convict, and actually he deploys all over the world, and actually he will have his own business interests that have nothing to do with Russia in this conflict. It's fascinating to see the role of private military organisations which are illegal in Russia being funded by Russia in the war in Ukraine.
It's really interesting. What's the latest when it comes to weapons, quickly? Because there's been a lot of talk about what we're giving, what we should be doing.
Well, there's a lot of talk the other day. We're giving Challenger 2 tanks. They use a depleted uranium round because it's very good at getting through armour. President Putin's turned around and said that is now, it's nuclear because it's uranium, therefore that will trigger a nuclear war. Let's be clear that the uranium-235, which is the main element of nuclear weapons and nuclear power stations, highly radioactive. Depleted uranium is what's left when you finish that. It's not highly radioactive. It's got alpha particles which can't even get through your skin. It's only dangerous if you ingest it or breathe it in, and even then it's because it's poisonous, not because of radiation at all. What's interesting particularly is that Russia actually uses depleted uranium in some of their weapons as well. So this is nothing more than Putin's rhetoric again and scaremongering.
Okay, thanks for clearing that all up. Your knowledge never ceases to amaze me, absolutely everything. Thank you so much, very much indeed. Right, let's go check now, shall we, on how the weather is shaping up.
Warm memories wherever you go. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Well, further blustery showers are on the cards, but it will turn colder from Sunday as the northerly wind brings the return of overnight frosts. There'll be scattered showers this evening, some heavy with a risk of hail and thunder, accompanied by gusty winds in the south. Longer spells of rain will affect parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. It stays quite breezy tonight with showers or longer spells of rain. The showers could turn wintry over the Scottish hills with an increased risk of snow. And Saturday brings another day of sunny spells and showers, heaviest and most frequent in the north.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
You're watching Sky News. Coming up, we'll have a special report on the sharp rise in rural homelessness. to Sky News, the top stories this hour. King Charles' state visit to France has been cancelled after anti-government protests erupted in violence. The head of the school's watchdog says stopping Ofsted inspections would not be in the best interest of children. And Gwyneth Paltrow is expected to take the stand this afternoon as she sued over a skiing accident 7 years ago. Now, figures seen exclusively by Sky News show that rural homelessness is growing and rapidly. More than 20,000 people were classified as homeless in rural England in the latest figures, many of them out of sight and in desperate conditions. Dan Whitehead's been speaking to some of them. He has this special report.
Yeah, so we turn left there, come down, and it says we're almost at the railway.
It's 5:30 in the morning and the temperature is barely above freezing. We're out with the rural homeless team in Woods, half an hour north of Norwich.
Just walk down a little bit, see if we can find a way over.
They have a list of sightings. It's a list that's getting longer.
Could be here, so we'll just have a look around this area.
As dawn breaks, hidden behind a crumbling old signal box, we find Connolly.
Hello? Ah, hello, good morning. Is that Connolly? Hi Connolly, it's Becky from Rough Sleeping Team.
He's 24 and has been sleeping out here for the last 3 weeks.
Right, and it caused me to lose where I was living, but not only that, I lost my job. I used to be a housekeeper, but now after that night I've sort of lost everything. Managed to find this tent, so I reused the last bit of money I had.
It's obviously really cold, probably.
Yeah, it is getting really cold now. But you know, it's such a risk. You know, especially for people who just get hypothermia and that. It's quite scary. I've definitely hit my lowest point.
How much of a priority then for you guys is sure that tonight is someone like
That is my priority today. That is my goal. Make sure I get back to the office, find him somewhere to do, and get him into accommodation tonight. Now, he's been rough sleeping in a tent. You are picking up a young man called Connolly. As soon as you can, please.
Connolly's situation is not unique. The number of people homeless in rural England is rising. There are a multitude of reasons. Less funding, a lack of social housing, lower wages and high numbers of second homes are just a few of them.
To be honest, in rural communities, house prices, rents and so on are completely out of whack with local wages, which makes it really hard to live in the countryside unless you're on a very good salary. It's actually the case that the demand for social housing is increasing 6 times faster than the supply.
Newquay, on the north coast of Cornwall, just metres from the beach, is the Sandy Lodge Hotel. Its 50+ rooms are full, but there are no tourists. Inside are the hidden homeless. This hotel is completely full of people who are on the waiting list for housing here. Many of them were working full-time or are paying rent, so one decision by their landlord has completely changed their lives. Hi Kim, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. Who's this?
This is Charlie.
Charlie.
He's 10 months old.
Among them is Kim. She, her partner and 3 kids have been living in this hotel for 4 months. So this is your room?
Yeah, this is where we live.
There's 5 of you in here.
Yes. My landlord decided to sell the house, so we were made homeless really, and that's as simple as that.
You've gone from a 3-bedroom house to
1 room.
1 room. Yeah. How do you feel for having privately rented, technically being homeless?
It hurts. It hurts a lot. I mean, like I said, we were told it was our forever home for 2.5 years, and then we were given 2 months to leave. And it's like, you know, there's so many second homes, there's so many Airbnbs, there's so many places that could be used to house local people especially.
But there are a lot of people, I think, who come down from that country with the idea that Cornwall is the best place ever, and it's really not. I think it's beautiful, but it's not really there.
Living in one room for months on end, with no end in sight, is taking its toll.
All we want is a home. That's it. My kids, my 4-year-old cried on Christmas Day because she wanted her son to have a home. And, you know, it broke my heart because I can't give her that at the minute. I don't have the means, I don't have the money to be able to do that. I'd give anything to be able to get a home for my children.
Funding to help people like Kim is a big problem. Researchers from the Universities of Kent and Southampton have recently found that government money for local authorities to tackle homelessness is 65% less per person in rural areas compared to urban. And while the overall number of homeless in the countryside is lower than in cities, exclusive analysis for Sky News by CTRE, the countryside charity, has found that the number of people homeless in rural England has risen by more than 21% since 2018. There were more than 17,000 people classed as homeless in rural areas in 2018 to 19. But last year that number jumped to nearly 21,000. Rural parts of the east and the southwest of England have the highest numbers. The situation is so bad here, Cornwall Council is spending £40,000 every single day putting people in emergency accommodation.
You know, put it bluntly, at the moment, we haven't got enough housing available for people to buy or rent. You know, there's a shortage of housing, full stop.
One temporary solution, dedicated pods.
But behind you right now are 15 solar house units. Each one accommodates one person, and they provide a stepping stone for people who have, through no fault of their own, have found themselves in need of a house.
The council wants up to 500 of them placed in pockets of land where people need them most.
It's Cornwall Council's number one priority is to address the housing crisis. What we've seen is, over the last number of decades, a slow building crisis that was exacerbated by the pandemic, which acted as a catalyst to really highlight the amount of housing inequality across Cornwall.
Building more social homes is the council's long-term plan. That will take years. Right now, millions is going on temporary solutions.
A huge amount of money, and it has provided a necessary service. However, temporary accommodation isn't good enough. I think we need more social housing and more sort of sufficient longer-term solutions to problems that we face.
The government says building more affordable homes is key to solving rural homelessness, but that simply isn't happening anywhere near the level that it needs to. So at the minute you've got a lot of sticking plaster solutions, but we have heard of one place back in Norfolk that's doing more to help the homeless than just putting a roof over their head. In a place called Ditchingham, there's a massive old convent. In 2011, a group of nuns gifted it to the homeless. It's run by the charity Emmaus. Companions, as they're known, are given bed and board, but they also work a 40-hour week, paid, in cafes, in shops, and etc.
Firstly, this is the so they're not there. So we are supporting people to gain self-worth and maintain that and build skills and build their self-esteem to a point that they feel able to move on.
Chloe's 22 and was living in her car for 20 years. She said having a home and a fresh purpose saved her life.
They've got me through so much mentally, my addiction, absolutely everything. Every aspect they've got me through more than what anyone else has to. So they saved my life in one way. So, because I could, if I didn't have here, I'd be back in the car on the streets and I'd probably relapse into drinking and using again.
In some of our most rural areas, becoming homeless is an ever-growing risk. The government says it's giving councils £366 million to help house those in need. and has built more than 243,000 affordable homes since 2010. But campaigners say it's not enough.
First and foremost, we need to see a massive social house building programme, which we haven't seen in this country for years, and we want a significant proportion of that for rural communities where the problem is particularly acute. That's the only way to solve this in the longer term. It's something that we've really underinvested in this country, and that's what we want to see change as soon as possible.
In Norwich, there's been a change of luck for Connolly. Just 8 hours after we found him in a tent, he's been given somewhere to sleep for at least 8 weeks.
They definitely moved quickly. I was actually surprised how quick they managed to get me into a room.
So you obviously we've got bed and everything provided for you. Okay, there's some plates and bits over there. Food parcel. We've got fridge and microwave, there's some toiletries.
I'm just so relieved. I'm really grateful, for what they've done. Helped me come here. So I'm definitely going to sleep well. It will take a few days to adjust, but it's better than being outside.
For Connolly, it is a chance to rebuild, but not everyone facing homelessness gets this opportunity in what is a growing crisis in rural England.
Well, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has expressed concern over growing tensions in the West Bank as he met the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Downing Street this morning. Shouts from protesters could be heard as the two leaders shook hands. And the visit comes with Mr Netanyahu facing a national crisis back home over his plans to overhaul the
Yes, sir. You need to put something on this door, man. It's gonna damage your door like that. You know when you...
Right. You could say so, yes, you're right.
Sure.
Look, I think, yeah, well,
No, it's not because damage that you cannot fix it, but it's like...
it's a heavy door. That,
yeah.
it's the handle there that needs to be replaced.
All right.
Handle. And waiting on it.
So, do you have any elastic or anything that can cover the head? Like...
have been pushing for when it comes to the judiciary. Now, critics of Benjamin Netanyahu...
Did you say something that can cover the hair?
Yeah, but not like this, like something that, you know what I mean, these dreadlocks.
All we have is what you can see there.
Like, I can see everything. You might know, and I'm not seeing. You get it? Or you don't know what you got. You know this thing? You know
we
this
have
thing?
these, we have those.
You know this thing there? Imagine this thing here, if it was open, and the hair, you could see the hair, like, you get it?
Oh, you can see the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not closed, is it?
we used to have something like that.
You don't have, yeah?
Yeah, we used to have something like that.
Not cover the hair total, like,
Yeah.
Nah, but I still
It's
gonna
like
take anything anyway.
like a hair, it's a sort of hair band.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Alicia Cairns, who is also chair
But
of
I'm still
the
taking something.
Select Committee, said it's important that the UK could learn to be a critical friend to Israel. So Danish did say that those issues were raised in that meeting, maybe not in the most robust way that those protesters and even some Conservative MPs would like to see from the UK Prime Minister.
Yes, thank you very much for your analysis. Liz Bastow with her analysis on that visit. You're watching Sky News. Coming up, Tanya speaks to the star of Succession, Brian Cox, ahead of the final season.
We used to have some.
I need a big one. It's not anyone with a big one. One like this, big. Like something like this. Big one. You know what I mean? Something like this, big. Big extra.
interest rates peaking at up at 6%.
The highest for 14 years. Will that be a little bit lower? Prices closer to
You and your finances. Stay up to date on Sky News. I'm Greg Mylan, and I'm Sky's Chief North of England correspondent. There is now a mandatory evacuation for this street. Many people argue it's far from over. Christchurch, contained forever.
There was a river of blood coming out of the mosque.
We are standing on the supply line, right into the heart of America's opioid crisis. I've reported from around the world and around the UK. Are you trying to run me over, Sir Philip? No, look like it, sir. Joe Biden knows the celebrations are over, and this is a country in crisis. It is almost impossible to predict where these fires will go next. Ida has certainly left its mark on your lead.
it's heartbreaking.
There's no sign publicly, at least, of either side being willing to give ground. How do you reassure the public that all of these mistakes wouldn't be made?
Invest in your future. Sky News Financial Reports, sponsored by Interactive Investor. Invest in your future. Sky News Financial Reports, sponsored by Interactive Investor.
Now, bittersweet news for fans of the hit TV show Succession, because the next series is out next week, but it's going to be the final one. The programme tracks the tribulations of the billionaire media family, the Roys, and its patriarch, played by Brian Cox. Our arts and entertainment correspondent, Katie Spencer, caught up with the Scottish-born actor. They discussed everything from the latest season to the SNP leadership.
If anyone could intimidate the stock markets into shape, arguably it's TV's Logan Roy. The Succession's leading man, Brian Cox, says goodbye to the megalomaniac millionaire media mogul we love to hate.
Yes, sir. I might take this, you know.
All the backstabbing and double-dealing of the Waystar family empire is about to climax in the fourth and final series, the perhaps ultimate social commentary on capitalism.
So I think we really need to rethink our politics, and our politics is in deep, really, whether it's been severely seen to be deep for the last 12 years. That's the point of doing the show. It's a great social story. It's about this. Well, we all don't see very many poor people in success. They're ignored. And it's the question that the survivors of why they're here. What's going on with the rich stuff. I don't go to my hometown in Scotland, Dundee, and I went back to where I grew up. And you know what I mean? People feel like they're bad. And human dignity is so important to people. And that's what's happening. You take somebody's dignity and you try and reduce the need to nothing.
The context truly close to the Scottish actor is that of the SNP, the departure of First Minister Nicola Sturgeon.
We mustn't give up the pursuit of independence. We can't separate ourselves. We are part of Eastern Time. But we should no longer be a united kingdom. We should be a united federation. We should be separate, autonomous.
Something that has united Scots in succession down is an apparent appreciation for Logan Roy's sweary slams.
They come up and they say, can I take a photo of you, Chinese? And you go, no, that's the easiest thing in the world for me to say, because I really do want to.
Brace yourself for the finale of arguably the finest television show of the decade.
On eBay and see what comes up. And you look at picture, and then you might end up seeing the one that you want.
So the blustery showers are on high. It also has cold.
Hello.
Yes,
you
how are
sell
you?
any hair rags?
Yeah.
Hair wrap.
Like the one they use for baby hair, to fix the baby hairs and forehead and style it.
We have.
No, like a wax, gel, something like that.
Hair wax.
Saturday brings on a day of sunny spells and showers, the heaviest and most frequent
one
in the north and
red one.
overhead.
You know, we'll use the jam, shining jam. But these are very popular, the gummy ones.
Right, okay, thanks. I'll have a look at
That's all from me, but coming up in news hour with Wilfred Frost, the King's State Visit to France is postponed because of anti-government protests.
Nah, you know, I think this will be too tight, bro. Because I bought this before here. It's not, you know, my big head, you know. So.
You can make that up with that. So the other stuff that you had there before, the one that says extra large one, you can make the same thing up. You just need to cut the end of the thing, and you will.
I know him.
You will create the same design. But that's up to you. There's nothing we can do about it right now.
Now, if I don't find today somewhere, I'll come back here tomorrow. I need to go somewhere. But thank you anyway.
You can try to go like open source.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Actually. But if you don't find it there, I won't be surprised because it's not a very fast. It's not. Maybe over there, it's whether you have a lot of customers that have dreadlocks in an area like Moorside. In an area like Moorside or wherever, you will find a lot more people interested in it. Sorry?
Pardon?
This one. Oh, this one. That's too big. Really? Have a look.
You said it's body wax here,
Anyone?
body wax.
When?
The hair removal wax. Thank you.
We sell perfume.
Pardon?
I said we sell perfume. You know, like they are like copy perfume. Like if you had Chanel, Dior, La Vie Belle, Million, Lady Million, black opium and stuff like that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
This one. And okay, I could one talk. Okay. They're all right, I think. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one. This one. Wait. This one. Huh? Okay. Oh gosh. What are you talking about now?
It's 5 o'clock. You're watching the News Hour of Wilfred Frost. Coming up in the next 60 minutes. A postponement due to pension protests. Violence in France forces King Charles to delay his first state visit as monarch. Taking a stand, Gwyneth Paltrow is said to give evidence in court following claims she crashed into a skier causing brain damage. Under examination, the boss of Ofsted refuses to stop inspections after a head teacher took her own life following a report that downgraded her school. No place to call home, a special report on how rural homelessness in England has risen by a fifth in the past 5 years. No need for backstabbing and double dealing. The star of Succession gives Sky News his thoughts on secession in Scotland.
I've got yours.
Of independence. We can't
Yeah.
separate ourselves off. We are part of this little town.
Honestly.
If you bought these, you've not bought these.
Oh, how much are they?
They have £3.99, cheap for £7.
Oh, right.
You have the one with the band like this, and then you have the one with the, you know, like without the band.
Yeah. Oh, right.
We also have age styling band, and these age laying scarf. Age laying scarf, age styling band. Bands, something.
Yeah. I think they've got that, the girls. Is that the puff that goes?
That's the puff.
Okay, colourful. Show off my colour here.
You can do
Wait, please.
colour 4. They can work for you.
Bye bye. Bye, let's go.
Despite what the actual situation is. So we will reorganise this.
She was asleep, she just woke up. Right,
Oh, were you here? Oh.
Sorry, Miss Sarah.
I only have one Caribbean here. Oh, no, 2. I only have one.
Sarah and John, another of them are eyelashes, so I'm gonna only Japan. I found them though. Pardon?
Sorry? Yeah, I only have 2 there. Sorry?
Let me have it. But right now, these protests show no sign of abating. Even tonight, although it's not organised by the unions, there are going to be unofficial demonstrations in other cities like Bordeaux and Lyon, for example. I think it's not surprising that's been made, although, especially when you consider the images that we've seen here on the ground in Paris and across the rest of France.
Wow, that's why that's why this guy said he's not going. The king, he was supposed to go to France. He's not going. Because the president said, I don't care what you're saying, you know, it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it anyway. So the people there decide to protest just every day.
summit alongside his EU peers.
Right, so that's, do you want this?
No, not today. I don't know who put it there. I didn't. It was there.
Right,
I
okay, no
didn't.
problem. No problem. I will sort it. Right, so that's, what do you call it? These are the stuff that you put on your neck and stuff, you know, like with your clothes. We have a lot of patterns there, you know, like when you tie, it's called necktie. They are $2.99 each.
There's not for men?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't think so. The women can have it like you can have it like a scarf, but
In
you
a
can also
different way, yeah.
in a different way. Like you can tie like a tie.
Raspberry one is nice.
Yeah.
And I've got lots of
You have
raspberry
these.
things.
I don't know whether you will let him wear these.
Oh, I don't want you to look like a woman.
No, it's just too close here.
Yeah, it's very stylish, you know. It's like this. Yeah, we have loads. We have loads there. I'm gonna find.
Only you think men can use it?
Huh?
Men.
No.
He goes, no.
No. Not that one.
No, so.
No. The green one is usually okay. You know the green one?
Green.
Like this one is green. That's the
Okay,
one.
I can get you.
Yeah.
I can get you the green
That's
one.
probably for girls. Yeah, it's like this, but it's green.
Okay.
I'm
Oh yeah, green. You said for men.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. When I go there next time, I will check. I'll check that.
Have been suggestions about refusing to cooperate with inspections
Okay, let's just pay for this one before this man come and give you a ticket there.
I don't think they're still here. I think they've gone. Did you see those? Did you see those heads? Those wigs. There's more here down there. like
No,
black.
how much are they?
£80 for the long one, but that small one there is £45.
Okay. All right, that's
Right.
that's
So
affordable,
which
yeah.
one of these two do you want? Sorry, you want this one, right?
I think that might be nice. I do remember when they Sele wearing, you remember when they Sele wearing the different color?
I know.
Yeah.
People can put anything.
Yeah.
As
yeah,
long as it's
yeah, it works.
It works for them.
So this is $83.90.
Ah.
This wrap is very strong. Or?
Yeah, very strong for massage and stuff. Massage.
Yani woke mumsaidia.
Right. You see, you can have these. It's out of date. This one. It doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can have that.
Oh, thank you.
Do you need a relaxer? I can give you a relaxer.
No, I use this now. My goodness me.
Oh, relaxer. But the thing broke your hair?
I think it was not working for me.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah, I've used it for years. Then I started using this. Oh my gosh, my hair just.
So I need to give a perfume to this. To this man. I don't think he's ever had a. Yeah, it's a free one. This is Chanel Blue. This is like Chanel Blue, okay?
Thank you. Let me tell you. Oh, that is nice as well.
Now I've got to add the $2.99 for this.
That is nice.
So altogether is £86.89, and I only charge you for 44, right? Just like it says on that.
Transfer frank.
As DNA. Niliacha ile ingine kadi kule. Okay, let me just.
Transfer kwangu.
No. Transfer kwako. Sawa. Can you put it the right way? Order.
Yeah, there is something
There's
here.
a camera here. I can see
You see
myself.
yourself. Ah.
Oh, that thing has been rolling like for 5 hours or something. Honestly, I didn't know it
Your
was on.
life, Babalanda. Where is
Yeah.
it? Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was on still. There was some stuff here. There's some stuff here, right? This is a bit dry, I think. It's called Control and Shine primer thing. So you can have that. It's a bit dry apparently. I don't know. You like it?
Yeah,
Yeah?
thank you.
Did you get the rub? Did you get the rub?
Yeah, it's inside, I think.
Yes, the rub is inside.
Well, thank
Okay,
you very
thank you very much.
The man went through.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's good for you. Yeah. No worries. Bye. Thank you so much, yeah. See you, bye bye.